Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me.
I grew up in a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place. See, cause everybody wanna tell you bad things. What could go wrong, what fame brings, but success is a finicky thing. And if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I will run away, I don't have to plan it. I can go, change my fate, you won't understand it. All alone, that's okay, people I can't stand, man. They don't want me to change, keep me where I'm standing. And I don't wanna be where I am. And I want something more, take a chance. It could be possibly my last dance, my last dance. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down.
Hello and welcome back to the mix up. So tonight we're gonna be doing I'm gonna be doing try not to laugh. So I'm gonna try not to laugh to some of these try not to laughs from Laugh Factory, a couple other places. Um First one is gonna be 420 jokes. And being a stoner, this is probably gonna be hard for me not to laugh. I'm still having that same issue I had last night with the chat not popping up in my app. I don't know why. I got it set up on my phone here. Hopefully this goes well. I'm gonna look into why that keeps happening. I thought last time it fixed itself, so I don't know what's going on here. I have it. I'm gonna bring it up in a separate window here so I could see the chat. For some reason, I'm not seeing. I see chats on my phone. I'm not seeing them on the computer here though. This is weird. I see Chris and Desiree in here already. What's up, Chris? What's up, Desiree? All right, let's get right into this. And I'm gonna try hard. I got Mustard Squirrel in here now. Now I'm seeing some of the chat coming through. Let me see if they're coming through in the app now. Yes. All right, good. They're coming through in the app. We have success. We don't gotta uh go all like back door to get me to see the chats. Oh, this is ridiculous. All right, so let's get right into this. We're gonna start with from the YouTube channel Laugh Factory, and it's 420 jokes. Try not to laugh. So I'm gonna try hard. I don't know how far I'm gonna make it through the video. I feel like I'm gonna start dying laughing like right into it. We're gonna try here. I'm gonna try hard.
Weed's getting a bad rap. I don't mean like a blunt rap. You know, I mean, people talk, people talk shit about it. Marijuana affects the memory. That's bullshit. I never forget to smoke.
All right, this is gonna be hard. This is gonna be hard. All right, let me laugh a little now to get it out.
So weed makes you stupid. It doesn't make you stupid. It makes you smarter. All right. Been smoking weed since high school. I grew up in San Gabriel Valley in LA. We had.
Yo, I will say that when I smoke, I get creative. I start wanting to build things, and half the time my ADD kicks in, and then they don't get finished.
Had what's called off-campus lunch. I don't know if you remember that. That's where you can go off campus, smoke weed, eat, and then you had to come back for some reason. It was, so one time.
All right, Chris saying we should do some George Carlin. All right, after one of the breaks, I'll look up some George Carlin. I try to keep it to YouTube channels that I could get the content direct from the channel, but we could definitely do that, Chris.
Time I came back.
That's gonna be really hard to not laugh to George Carlin.
Lit. It was, so one time I came back lit, and we had intermediate math. I had intermediate math after lunch, right? And one time I came back lit, and we had to take a test in fractions, a little pop quiz. And one of the questions on the test was, "What's the difference between a quarter and an eighth?" I wrote $50.
Pretty much everybody smokes pot when you think about it. I just found out my 15-year-old cousin smokes pot. What the fuck? 15-year-old wants to be an adult before he even grows up. I want to try to help curb the habit, discourage him from really turning it into something bad. So I told him I smoke a little. Didn't expect the reaction. His eyes got so big, like so excited. He was like, dude, Adam, dude, you smoke weed? Dude, how have we not smoked together yet? I was like, dude, how have we not smoked together yet? 5 years.
This is gonna be hard for me not to laugh. This is gonna be really hard.
Years ago, you were 10. What the fuck are you talking about? You just started using deodorant, man. Take it easy. Plus, I have this rule. I can't smoke pot with anybody who didn't grow up watching DuckTales. That's just one of my rules about smoking weed. Yeah, that's a good rule. DuckTales. Yeah, they're the potheads. That's how you find them. Yeah, knew you were in here.
Today, I just renewed my weed card. Thank you. It's my second card. My first card, I got 3 days into being in Los Angeles.
You know, weed just became recreationally legal here in Connecticut. What's up, little hellbilly? And well, I mean, it's already been recreational legal for about a year, but we just started opening up the dispensaries. And from what I see, the prices are like ridiculous. And I was like, I won't renew my card because I'll just be able to go get it anyway. But the prices are like almost half the price with the medical card. So I think I might need to go renew my medical card.
Thank you. My second card. My first card, I got 3 days into being in Los Angeles. I didn't even have an apartment yet. My first purchase was a weed cookie. I got an edible. And it was the coolest thing I'd ever gotten up to that point in my life. Because I'd never seen branding on drugs. It had a logo. Aunt Mabel's weed cookie.
Chris, man, it's probably not that much better here in Connecticut than it is up there in Mass. Wait, in Mass, you gotta pay the tax with your card? Really? Yo, that's ridiculous. Like, I've gone to Mass to a couple to what was it, Netta? I think I went to Netta up there. And I thought it was the same with Connecticut. Like, you don't have to pay the tax with the medical card like you do as recreational. That's ridiculous.
Trust this, she's family. Underneath it said per dose, eat 1/3 of a cookie. Who eats 1/3 of a cookie? I eat all the thirds of a cookie. You're not gonna have me eat 1/3 of a cookie. Now I'm high and I'm hungry and I'm staring at 2/3 of a cookie. That's not happiness. That's Hunger Games. And I ate the whole cookie. Woke up 2 days later, about 1.5 miles from my house, feeling refreshed.
Man, I'll tell you, I've had some edibles, and honestly, the most stoned I've ever been is me and my friend. We both have our medical cards, and we went and got these 200 milligram capsules from the dispensary, and it's just pure capsule THC. And he ate 3 of them. I ate 2 of them, and he was like, he pulled into my driveway a couple hours. He went to Monster Jam, and he comes back and he pulls into my driveway, and I'm like, yo, how was Monster Jam? And he looks at me and goes, I'm like, yo, are you that high? I mean, I ate 2 of them. I was like, yeah.
I'm gonna get out of this ditch and get on with my day.
My friends smoke weed all the time. My boys, like my guys I hang out with, they are heavy weed smokers. Heavy. And they all have girlfriends and wives. Not girlfriends. Get girlfriends.
Yeah, little hellbilly. That's yeah. We have some of those events here in Connecticut where people set up and it's like a weed farmers market. Those are kind of cool.
And or wives that won't let them smoke at home. So now my house has become the designated weed smoking house. Yeah, they just called me up out of nowhere, like, hey man, what you doing? Called me up for no reason. What you doing? I'm like, I'm in here watching the game. Got a pound coming over. Then they get high and they get into these deep philosophical weed discussions. I don't know if your friends do that.
Yo, if you've never been in one of them deep philosophical weed discussions, see, this is gonna be hard for me not to laugh. It's gonna be hard for me not to laugh. That's you know, you get all stoned and you and your boys just like, yeah, let's talk about this, man. Yo, you ever realize like how an engine works? And just be like going in depth conversation.
Like that's when they want to have like a Wolf Blitzer CNN discussion when they high, but it's always bullshit comes out of nowhere. It's like, ew.
This is Chris Rock's brother, isn't it? Tony Rock? Yeah, that's Chris Rock's brother.
If you was invisible, which ex-girlfriend's house did you rob?
I didn't laugh.
And my other boys over here, he thinking about it too. Oh, that's deep. That's deep. See, it don't work like that. It don't work like that because technically you invisible, right? But the you steal is not. So now it's a TV just floating down the street. Oh, that's how they caught me last time.
My mom she actually came out here and visited me once, and she kind of got into my medicinal marijuana. My bad, because I've got.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. Someone's mom getting into it. Yeah, all right. This is gonna. Yeah.
Got glaucoma and can't see any of you. When she came out here and visited me, I took a shower. I thought I hit everything, but the Southern woman is like a fucking honey badger. They will dig through anything. They're just like, just looking through it. I got out of the shower. I looked really good. She's just standing there. She's like,
my mom would be like, wait, you made weed edibles and you didn't give me any?
Justin Douglas Martindale, what is this? The full name. Right? She's like, I've raised you better than this, mister. I cannot believe you brought this in your house. I've been through thick and thin with you. Jesus has cried for you through thick and thin. I cannot believe you would even. God damn, that shit hits hard. What is that? Is that an indica, a sativa? What is that? Purple Rhino, Mystic Haze, Sad Substitute?
Yeah, I really can't stand smoking indica. I prefer a sativa, but if all I could, and it's funny because when I used to go to the dispensary all the time, it'd be like they'd run out of sativa quick, so I try and get a hybrid. Like I want to be active when I'm smoking. I don't want to be like in the couch, you know, indica in the couch. I don't like that. I like to be active and do things when I'm smoking.
Teacher, what's that called?
If you're gonna do drugs, smoke weed. Seriously, right? Exactly. I don't judge. What's the worst thing that's gonna happen? You smoke some weed. You're gonna eat a couple of Twinkies and drive really safely.
White people, you have good weed.
You notice that when you smoke and you drive after you'd be stopping at a stop sign. And your boy be with you. He'd be like, "Why aren't you going?" "Oh yeah, it's a stop sign, not a red light." And you'd be going like a little under the speed limit, just cruising. I mean, like, I feel like you're much more of a safer driver when you're stoned. Like, I mean, when you're drunk, that's like a whole nother story. You'd be like, oh, I'm gonna race. Woo!
And I commend you because you use discretion. You get your weed from somebody called a guy. I don't know who this guy is. You can ask any white dude anywhere. Where you get your weed from? I get it from this guy. I see him on Tuesdays. You want me to pick you up something?
Well, I mean, this is funny, but at the same time, who's gonna give their connect up? You ain't just gonna be like, oh yeah, I get it from Jimmy over there.
That's all you get. Ask a brother, yo dogs, where you get your weed from? From my cousin, he at the Holiday Inn right down the street. Won't you call him from your cell phone so you could lock the number in? Then they
See, my connects would be like, they get a random call from a phone number. They'd be like, I don't know you, click.
wonder why they get caught. It's 2 o'clock in the morning and your car is orange. That's why you got caught. You need a guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We might have to change this from a try not to laugh because I'm trying so hard here. I already laughed once.
When you get your weed from white people, they let you try it before you buy it. Can't get that from black people. You have to smoke them out.
Yo, this is facts right here. This is facts.
With the shit you just got from them. And
this is facts. I can't not laugh. This is facts. Man, yeah.
Business that's called reneging.
I had to go back and learn fractions just to buy weed from white people. I didn't know nothing about eighths or quarters or nothing like that. Nobody told me that if the bottom number was bigger, you get less. I had to rush down to Home Depot to get one of them rulers with the lines on them. The guy was like, what you using it for? Like, I'm buying an 8 from a white guy. Which one is the 8? Is that the little short line next to the quarter? Because I don't want to.
Oh my God. This is going to be hard to not laugh. What's up, Ford for Life? What's up, Little Hillbilly? Who else we got to hear? Naughty ABC News.
To get ripped off. I want the right length. I'm on the phone telling my friends, don't worry about it. I got 2 1/64s coming. We'll just put one in the freezer. This should last us till Christmas.
I have a prescription for medical marijuana. And here in Los Angeles, you don't even need a real reason to get it. The doctor's like, why do you need a prescription for medical marijuana? It's like, because.
What's up in the comments there, Shannon?
My neighbor moved to Burbank. And I don't know where else to get any pot from. Because everybody smokes. I hate when I go to the store high, but the guy behind the counter is higher than I am. So you try to buy something and he's like, $2.75, please. You're like, how much? He's like, what? My friend tried to get me to smoke some Afghani weed. I don't want to smoke Afghani weed because people in Afghanistan get stoned to death. I'm just
this is gonna be so hard.
Trying to get to Hollywood.
I'm trying not to laugh.
Here's the deal. I went into the weed store and anybody had the edibles? Woo! Okay. So for those of you who don't know, the edibles kind of fuck you up. I did not know that.
Oh, it's because your body metabolizes weed different and it turns into a different compound, and then it hits you about 10 times harder and lasts a lot longer.
I went in. Now listen, something you need to know about me is I fucking love blueberry muffins. So I walk into the weed store and I'm like, are those blueberry muffins? The guy was like, yeah. And I said, does that have weed in it? And he said, yeah. And I was like, I'll have a blueberry muffin. So my weed store has like a little area where you can smoke and watch DVDs and shit. And I just put in Chappelle season 1. Fucking great. And I'm literally licking my fingers when the guy runs in. He goes, "You didn't eat that whole muffin, did you?" Huh? Tell me you didn't eat that whole muffin right now, all at once, did you? And I was like, yeah.
I hope you don't have any plans.
And he goes, all right, listen, and I'm not fucking around right now. Either give me the keys to your car or drive home right now.
Yeah, that's one mistake people make with edibles. They eat it and they don't realize it takes a minute to kick in, and then they'll just eat more. And then they're like, oh, it's still not kicking in. And then like 45 minutes later, they're just like gone. Because they at that point, all of it's kicking in.
And I said, what? And he goes, I'm telling you, leave here right now or prepare to be here for 8 hours.
Yup, facts.
I was like, are you kidding me? He goes, you ate that whole muffin, man. He goes, I own this place. I would only eat half if I was at home. I was like, fuck me. He was right. I was high for 8 hours. That's one of those highs where you're like, I have kids, man. I had to pull one of these. I walked into the house. I was like, Daddy's sick. Don't come in the room. Click. And then I peek my head out.
Man, why'd I have to do this as a try not to laugh instead of just a normal reaction? Damn.
I was like, no matter what you hear from this room, do not come in here. It was bad. Except like an hour.
What's up in the comments, Jeremiah?
Hour later, I was like, except I could use some orange juice.
It's fine if you smoke pot, but there's one type of stoner I hate being around, and that's the person who, when they do get high, they think it makes them smarter somehow. Do you know one of these shitheads? And I realize there's certain things I can't do with that friend while he's stoned anymore. Like, I can't watch movies with him anymore. Here's what happened a few weeks ago. We were watching a movie. He's smoking a joint. I'm completely sober. We're watching Return of the Jedi. I don't want to ruin the movie for you guys. But at one point in Return of the Jedi, a spaceship explodes, and my buddy leans over and he goes, you know that would never actually happen in real life. Bro, you'd never see a fireball in space because fire needs oxygen to survive. And there's zero oxygen in space. So that shit would never happen. And I was like, you know what? You're right. And while we're at it, I don't think those are real Ewoks either. Pretty sure those are just dwarves dressed up as bears.
White people have cool, magical names for their weed. No, think about it, like Chronic, Kush, Purple Liberal, Juicy Fruit, Trainwreck, Northern Lights, Green Crack, Purple Horseshoes, Obama. Yeah,
you know, speaking of weed names, what I gotta say is that here in Connecticut, when they first started the medical program, they said that we don't want the street names, so they came up with like all these like medical sounding names. So you get like Lexicon Flower, Aneva. Some of them have like if there's a website called Dabbin' Dads. And it's got like a list of all the Connecticut names and them next to their street names, so you know what you're actually getting.
There's an Obama strain out there. Yes, we cannabis.
Nah, so that there was 420 jokes. I almost made it through the whole thing, but well, not really. I started laughing early. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? All right, so try not to laugh, and so this is from a open mic night. So let's.
Hey everybody! Hey everybody! Hey!
Just the way this guy's talking, I don't think I'm gonna like it. But all right, we're here for it.
Women be like.
Oh, God.
Hello? Is this thing on?
It is.
Oh, welcome back to another Try Not to Laugh.
Hey!
Whoa, yo, we're not in the studio today.
Oh.
Yes, we're in
We're
a
not.
look at this cool location we're in, and
Oh
we're
my
doing
God.
something a little different.
You know, I just picked this because when I searched "Try Not to Laugh," it popped up. But I don't know how far I'm gonna get into this video before I want to change it. Just looking at the comedians. All right, I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Tonight or today, who knows? It's dark in here. We're doing something
I mean, if it's something that I don't think I'd laugh to normally, I'm just gonna switch it and we're gonna move on to something else.
a little different. It's Try Not to Laugh open mic night. Yeah, usually, we improvise, we have the props, we have all the things. Today we're doing a little bit of stand-up. We're doing a couple bits,
Finally.
Jeremiah, I'm doing all comedy tonight. I might switch it up a little bit at the end. I might after this stream do another one. But I will get to it. I will get to it. If you guys have any requests, my Instagram is right at the bottom of the screen. Hit me up on Instagram and I'll see if I can get to the videos you want me to watch and react to. I like to stay interactive with my audience.
But it is normal. We're going to try to make each other laugh. The person in the chair will be having water in their mouth, and we're going to try to make them spit
Is it just me or is she being too nice for a comedian?
it out.
Has anybody here done stand up?
No.
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 I've done a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Good jacket.
Go on. Does video
All right, you know what? I'm going to wait for the jokes, but I have a feeling already that I'm going to change this video. I really, really have that feeling. I'm getting like libtard vibe from this.
exist of
Did you
this
do it?
on the internet
Where?
somewhere?
When?
There's
Why?
no video of it, but it was for homecoming
Oh.
in college.
You're like, how about that school
Oh.
lunch? Am I right?
But before we get started, make sure that you like and subscribe because we have plenty of Try Not to Laughs that are coming up. We have a lot of other videos that you
All right, well, will you shut up and make me like try and laugh?
should watch, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Oh. Welcome, everybody.
All right. We're not getting into the jokes in this one. You know what? You know why? Because I cannot stand the way they're talking just in the beginning. It's driving me insane. All right, 1 second. I'm gonna find it. Let's get to something else here. This too much for me. Too much. All right, this one from Laugh Factory again.
35 and my girlfriend is 21. She thought I was younger and I thought she was younger.
Man, I got a problem with dating younger girls, and it never ends well. Never ends well.
People are like, is that weird? Like the age difference? Only time it was weird was when I showed her a picture
Like when I was 35, I tried dating a 20-year-old. Didn't work out too well.
of me from 10 years ago. And then she showed me a picture of her from 10 years ago. Hers was a school photo. Mine was a DUI photo.
All right, this one's gonna be hard to not laugh to. I could
Now, are you dating now, Maria?
Oh yeah, I'm always well now.
But you work on the road a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep a relationship going.
Right.
And this is Try Not to Laugh relationship jokes.
Well, no, I got time. I mean, on the road, there's only two
Oh,
shows
so one
a
night
night.
stands, one night
No.
stands.
But you can. I
All
mean,
right,
from
didn't
what
laugh,
I've
I didn't
read
laugh.
about guys, they don't want to be that close, anyways. So you know what I'm saying? When I'm gone for 2 nights, exciting when I come back, that type of deal.
That's good.
Because I don't get asked out that much, except on the road where it's sort of like people who are like, I saw you on the internet, and I just kind of came here, just hoping that maybe I could get a kiss.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that there's some weird, creepy people out there like that.
And those people are obviously available.
You think?
but
Not necessarily.
not yeah.
Maybe they met the the person that's just as weird as they are.
You know, I never even think of a kiss. Like when you said, "Can I get a kiss?" I'm thinking right away. I thought maybe we could go back and have sex. You know?
I think I'm getting older. I don't get as much. I think when I was younger, maybe somebody would be.
I like when people say, "Maybe I'm getting older." Well, definitely, everybody's definitely getting older.
Clearly, it's happening.
What's the oldest guy you'd go out with?
Yeah, I don't go more than 10, just because it seems
10 years
kinda-
old?
No,
I almost broke and started laughing on that one.
10 years.
Oh,
old.
10 years older. Okay. All right.
And I don't go younger. It just seems kind of.
So it's
creepy.
a 10 bookend
Yeah,
thing.
10. Like that seems a lot. Otherwise, you stop having things in common. I would think, or they start saying things like "up, up," or else you're saying things like "no."
I tricked my girlfriend into a relationship. She didn't want to.
One thing to always remember: if you want to know what your girl's gonna look like when she gets older, look at her mom. Look at her mom. Look at her mom. If mom looks like she went through the ringer, chances are she gonna look like she went through the ringer.
Not be with me at all. Yeah, no girl that's like almost 30 is like, oh yeah, you're gonna be a comic. That's a good decision for me. Let's get in a relationship with that. I tricked her, I swear. When I got a gym membership, that's how I do it. I always start.
What's up in the comments there, Tashi?
Off with a gym membership. Figure if I could lose weight, no way chicks could resist me. Fucking hate the gym. Hate that place. Always lying to the elliptical about my weight. I don't know why. It's just trying to help me. There's no reason to lie to it. And at first, you put in all this effort and stuff. Like, I remember at first, my girlfriend would be like,
Chris says, scope out the mom first. Yes. Yeah. Before you even decide to make her your girlfriend, see what the mom looks like. See what the mom looks like. Chances are that's what your future is.
date with you is like an adventure. I never know what you're gonna do. Every date with you is so fun and different. I can tell you put so much thought and energy into these dates. You're not like those other guys. You're not just taking me out, trying to get me drunk and sleep with me. No, you're different. She had no idea that every single one of our dates was just a daily deal on Groupon.
Yeah.
Every single fucking.
Yo, I'll tell you, the bar I work at, man, you don't have to try and get the girls drunk. They get drunk and they be over all the dudes. And some of them you don't want. You don't want the annoying drunk girl at all. You definitely don't. Like, and like some of them are like them stuck up drunk girls, like, and they think they're special, and they think they're even more special when they're drunk, and they're like, oh man, it's ridiculous. What's up, Mama Chris Lynn?
Day. She'd be like, oh my God, we're getting our teeth whitened? You're so spontaneous. Yeah.
This dude's I mean, this is supposed to be a try not to laugh, so it's really not that hard to not laugh to this dude's jokes.
He fucking loves you.
Give me something funny.
We are gonna get those teeth whitened. Best thing to happen to dating. I never have to think anymore, I swear. I get that text message, wanna hang out tonight? Sure, what do you wanna do? I don't know, what do you wanna do? Because girls have no fucking input.
Yo, my son's mom, my ex, she'd be like, I'm hungry. All right, what do you want? I don't know. And on top of that, she was a vegetarian. You know how hard it is to cook for a vegetarian when they say, I don't know what I want? And then you start trying to suggest things. And when it comes to a vegetarian, it's like when I think of food, the first thing I think of is meat. Meat is the main thing, and then you got side dishes. So then you start just recommending side dishes. Oh, you want some pasta? No, I don't want pasta. You want this, you want that. And it's like, well, you said I don't know. I don't know is not a food. I don't know ain't a food, and I don't know what to do with a vegetarian meal. Like,
how does couples hair removal sound? She's Persian. She needs.
What's up in the chat there, Jackie?
Needs it.
Am I the only one that thinks that this guy's comedy should not be in a try not to laugh? because I'm really not having to try not to laugh.
Don't worry, she's not here. I can say what I want.
I'm newly single. That feels good, right? Time, yeah, sure, yeah, right. Nah, I'm lonely. Here's the thing, being single around New Year's, that was timed perfectly on my part, right? Oh, that's great. Nothing highlights your loneliness like the New Year's countdown. Fucking A, right? 3, 2, 1. You have nobody, right? That's what it always feels like. So that's good. Here's the thing, my ex and I, we fought a lot.
Yeah, Tashi, that last dude was not that funny.
Which is going to happen in every relationship. We're such fighting about such the stupidest little things. She was really into astrology. Any of you ladies into that stuff? No, you're fucking nuts. No, maybe I don't know enough about it to understand where you're coming from. But she would use it to justify arguments. I thought that was really unfair. We get a huge fight, and the next morning she's like,
Oh my God, babe, I'm so sorry. I went kind of crazy last night. I should have told you what's happening with me right now is that my retrograde is out of sync with the fire moon. And so because I'm an Aries.
Yo, I could totally picture somebody do. All right, yeah, I'm laughing already. Yeah.
Then you're a Gemini.
All right, this dude got me a little bit.
It's not really the
because I've seen chicks like this. I've seen this is facts. Some chicks be like this.
Ideal month for zodiac energy. So
I was like, wow, that is really impressive. That is really impressive. I gotta hand it to you. That might be the fanciest description of bipolar disorder I think I've ever heard somebody break down. I didn't know you could tell people you had it like that. And we were long distance, which is not gonna work out. You're not in the same place all the time. You have to rely on the phone to communicate. And man, the phone creates all these arguments that you don't anticipate. It really sucks. I would text her every night before we go to bed. And one night I texted her, I love you, sleep tight, baby. And my iPhone autocorrects it to, I love you, sheep tits lady. And that's not
Yo, all right, this dude's funny.
a very nice thing to say to somebody.
All right, I'm trying. Yeah, this guy got me. The last guy, man, I could have watched that dude for an hour and not laughed.
Lady, she's already insecure from a distance, so she flips out. She's like, who the fuck is sheep tits lady? Who are you trying to send that to? I was like, baby, I don't even know what sheep tits are. That's a new term for me too. Like, we're in this together. That was clearly a mistake on the phone's part. So just take a deep breath, calm down, and call me back. Just call me back. It's not my fault.
I told my ex that I used to be a cheerleader back in high school, and he's disgusting. So his eyes lit up, right? He got so excited. And it's like, Rebecca, if you still got the uniform, just go ahead and put it on for me. It'll be a lot of fun. And I'm like, okay, why are you saying this? We've been dating for a while. You know I'm crazy as hell. I don't throw shit away. Of course I
Hey, at least she admits she's crazy.
still have the uniform, right? So get the uniform out. And I put this uniform on. We'll say I got it on by the grace of God. That's what we'll say. Because I was
Ain't quite fit like when you was back in high school, did it?
less than half this size in high school. Okay. And now according to t-shirts, I'm now a medium-sized man. Shit happens. But so I'm in this super little uniform. I get into it and I'm proud of myself. I can't breathe. He likes that too. We won't read into it. And he is so turned on that I'm like, okay, is my boyfriend's fetish teenage cheerleaders or big bitches squeezing into tiny clothes? Like, what does he like about this shit? I don't understand why he's having such a good time right now.
Any married couples?
Jackie says instead of shouting out everybody one at a time, she's gonna say hi to everyone at once. So everyone, Jackie says hi.
Here or any married humans? One guy without his wife. Another guy who's calling for help. I am! How's the sex? 2 thumbs up. What's up, play? It's tough. You got to mix it up. We have 2 kids. I'm like, how can we step it up? I tried role playing. Wife can't act. Cut that out. Can't do a threesome. I don't need my son coming in the morning being like, who's he? I don't need that. So I bought us a dildo. Yeah, I say us, because that's what I thought it was going to be, us. My wife was out of town. I'm like, I'm going to go to a shop and get a dildo. Just a little something to spice it up. Anyone ever bought a dildo? There's 2 kinds of shops to buy a dildo at. A nice one where they're professional, where they're like, now how is she stimulated? Clitorally or is it vaginally? Or you can go to the one I went to where the guy looks like he should be working the ring toss at the state fair. I walked into this sex shop, there were other dudes like looking at porn like,
Like I'm in this group now of fucking degenerates. I have nothing. I just never done it. You know what I mean? So I walk in. I go up to this psycho, and I'm like, "Hey man, I'm trying to be discreet. I'm like, I'm looking to buy a little sex toy for my wife. Just something. I don't know, maybe like a dildo, something like that." Guy goes, "Yeah, I like that." I was like, "Dude, I don't need you. I want to take a shower." I felt so gross. So I'm like, "These them?" He's like, "Yeah." And there's like this shelf, and I'm looking at him. There's this like purple dildo. I'm like, "Hey, what's with this purple one?" And he goes, "Oh, that's the Excalibur." It doesn't say Excalibur anywhere on the package. That's just what they call it around the shop, okay? He pulled it out. It slammed on the counter. It was so big, he lifted it up. And it
was having a little minor technical difficulty there. One of my monitors here has the little capacitive touch buttons, and for some reason it was just shutting itself off. It's fine now.
It was a giant purple dildo with an arm off the side that vibrated like a cactus. It looked like a cartoon cactus. And he fires it up too. It's like, and now other dudes are like they're fucking excited. I'm like, dude, turn it off. Chill out. I'm very uncomfortable. I look at this thing on the bottom. There's a thing on the bottom. I look at the guy and go, "Hey man, what's this thing on the bottom here?" And he goes, "That's a suction cup." And I go, "What the fuck is that for?" This guy looked into my soul and was like, graphically licked it, seductively licked it, and then went, stuck it to the wall, and then like David Copperfield presented it like this. And I still didn't get it. I'm like, what's that?
All right, I kind of thought it was gonna be funny at first, but I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's not like this shouldn't be in a try not to laugh, because it's funny, but it's not like funny where it's not gonna like you're gonna like not be able to not laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny, but it's not that funny.
Coat rack? I don't even know what that is. Do you like throw your hat on it when you walk in the room? Like I didn't get it. And he goes, "Oh no." And he puts his hands on the counter and he's like, like a deep knee bend. She takes it, and I'm like, "Fucking dude, that's enough." I'll take it.
Oh God, Tashi, that is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. That's funnier than what the joke this guy's telling.
Pretty sure that's exactly what we needed. Now, this was a Monday. My wife was out of town till Friday. I thought I should get a nice box, maybe some wrapping paper. You know what I mean? I've never given a dildo before. I don't know how you do it. I always assumed it was like this. That's a fantastic joke. Don't even sweat
it. Not really.
So, I have 2 kids. I work. The week gets away from me. I forget to get a box wrapping paper. I have nothing because I threw out the original packaging. And you can't just be like, "Here's your dildo." You can't just give her a dildo. I did have newspaper. I know it was a bad choice.
I'm having technical difficulties with my monitor again here. I don't know why. We're gonna keep going though. I can see the chat on my phone. I could see what I'm watching on my other screen here.
Wrapped it up. It looked like I brought a fish home from Seattle. You know when they like you catch it at the market.
I really don't hope I need to go buy another monitor. That would suck.
That's what it looked like, just some giant fish. But I had to go with it because she was on her way home from the airport. We catch up in the living room. "How was your week?" We do our
I really didn't even use this monitor that much until I started doing lives. I wasn't even using it until I was doing lives. It was just sitting there and not being used. But I don't know what's going on with this
thing. And I go, "Hey, I guess."
After this video, I'm going to take a quick break and see if I can't get this monitor to work properly.
Got something down in the bedroom. I thought they were a little surprised. And she's like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah, no big deal." I had a candle lit. She comes walking in. She sees the halibut laid out on the bed. She goes, "Oh, what's this?" I go, open it up. Now I'm trying to be, I think I was laying on the bed, like trying to do something sexy. Because I'm like, this is the time. I don't know why I thought we'd go from, "Hey, how was your week?" to, "Let's fucking do." I don't know what I thought we were going to do. She opens it. She holds it up. I think it took 2 hands for her to hold it. She goes, "Ooh, what's this?" And I'm trying to be sexy, you know? So I'm like, "That's tonight."
She's like, what? And she turns on the vibrator. She's like, whoa, like it's very, she realizes I'm making an effort for us to do some shit. And she's just like, all right. And then she's just like kind of looking over it and then she looks at the bottom of it, you know? She goes, what's this on the bottom? And I go, suction cup. She goes, for what? Now, I hadn't thought this far ahead. I thought we were gonna get in there and all of a sudden she's like, oh, fuck yeah, we are, and just start pounding away. I don't know what. Now I'm like, oh, I have to explain what this is, and I haven't even thought this out. All I remember was how this guy demoed the thing.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, this guy's kind of funny. He's not that funny, though.
And so I just did the same thing. So I didn't want to, but I grabbed it, and I'm like, and now I'm doing the same thing that this guy did that made me almost throw up, and I'm doing it for her. I lick it, I go, stick it to the wall.
Thank you, Jackie. I'm glad you've been watching for a while. It's good to know. I mean, it's been a minute since I posted. I just recently started posting again. My summers tend to be like summer and fall tend to be crazy, and finally got some extra time.
We have plaster walls. This guy does that every day. The licking stick is his selling tactic. I've never done it. It falls off the wall, vibrator turns on, and it shimmies under the bed.
All right, that was kind of funny.
Like ran away, like a dying fish. And I'm kneeling on the ground, reaching for it. Like, I got this. Now, I don't know how often you sweep under your bed. It was dusty. And now she's there, I'm here. I'm like, blowing on a dildo. The candle went out. The candle was like, fuck, dude, honestly, that's enough. I get it cleaned off, and I hand it to her, and I'm like, and she just goes, I don't think so, babe. And I go, what's the problem? And she goes, it's too big. And I got, like, I was let down. You know, I made like a big effort here. I put myself out, and I looked at her, and I go, you don't like big dicks? And she goes, no, I like average dicks, like your dick. I wasn't even mad. I was like, you think it's average? All right. It's a C. I'll take a C any day of the week.
Not that funny, bro.
I was mad she didn't like big dicks. Like if I was into dicks, only big dicks.
I think then you might be little questioning something there, buddy.
And I'd be crushing. I'd find, like, oh, is this your big dick? Is this your crush a dick in 2 minutes, guys. Like, dude, stay away from Larson with your big dick. He'll fucking hammer that thing. So we had sex with my average dick, and we made my beautiful, sweet, caring, empathetic little boy and my average little daughter.
My last ex, he was white. He's still white. And still totally a white person. I gained a lot of weight.
That last dude, yeah, I wouldn't pay any kind of money to see that dude make any kind of jokes.
In that relationship, because my ex did this to be nice. He was trying to be a good boyfriend. Are you guys together? He's just giving me a thumbs up, and she's like, what the fuck do you think? Like, why would I be sitting here if we weren't together? I get you, girl. Your shoulders are out. Have a good summer. So I don't know if he does this. My ex did this to me to try to be a good boyfriend. He's like, you're beautiful no matter what. Does he say that to you? Good, you can get fat as hell like I did. He told me, I love you no matter what you look like. My hungry ass.
Yo, you ever date a girl and then like a few months in, it's like she start getting really, really thick, like not giving a crap anymore?
I heard that and I'm like, dope, great news. I made some cookies about it, right? That's how I treat love. So I gained 25 quick pounds in that relationship. Now I'm shaped like a sexy Teletubby.
Single people want to be together so badly that you created websites for you to find each other. There's single people everywhere. Jewish.com, blackpeople.com, people with no jobs but not really.com, all kind of shit to get together. And I looked at I went on one of these sites and I read it. And I'm looking at all these things that people say they want to do. Like, you know, all the interests, that's what it is. Long walks on the beach. movie night. Love me. Are you kidding? Let me translate to you what long walks on the beach really mean. Once you're married and into it. First of all, if you don't live by the beach, it's a journey to get there. You understand? That means there's going to be driving involved. And anytime you're driving with her, there's going to be an argument.
All right, yeah. Oh man, dude.
Period.
You get in a long-term relationship, you ain't driving nowhere without that argument.
A whole argument
over something stupid too.
Is about how she knows how to get someplace that neither one of you have ever been, but she knows better than you. Shut the hell up and listen. Disregard what the lady on the navigation says. Follow her. Now, when you get down to the beach, it's 20 degrees colder than it was at your house. She didn't bring a jacket. You know why? Because you have one.
So now yeah.
And now she's wearing your jacket.
See, when a comedian tells jokes that are relatable, it's so much more funny than just stupid jokes. Like
walking in this muddy sand, you're freezing, and this is the long walk on the beach. And the whole conversation is about the fact that we could have been here an hour ago if you would have listened to the way I told you get out here, and we could have been here and it would have been warm. And that's when you're thinking to yourself, I wonder if a shark has ever come out of the water. Walked up.
Yeah, I think they saved the best one for last in this little compilation.
On sand and snatched somebody away and never to be seen again. This is what the long walk on the beach really means.
All right, I'm gonna take a quick break, try and solve this issue with my monitor. It looks like it's temporarily fixed, but I'm still gonna double check everything. I'll be right back about 10 minutes.
Like me, open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste me, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate me, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains, I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things, gonna make a name. I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame. No, I'm not that vain, I just wanna be greatness. 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 Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste me, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate me, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can bite me. Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent. And it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots. If I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. That energy is like a poison, needs some antiseptic. Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you want to taste me, you can try me. If you want to hate this, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fight me. Ain't no motherfucker We're in this world, could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste it, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate it, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. I take shots to the top, I'll get it. I got one life, I'ma do all to win it. I do what's right, push until I fall. I'm slipping to get back up, always stand tall, I'm grinning. I got cuts real deep in, bruised the squad. I had to learn how to think with my head, not heart. I've been chewed up, spit out, torn apart. From picking up all the pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back, cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly, I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just get buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight, gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate. Better change my mindset, meditate. It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, hear, I should celebrate. Think I could change my mind, maybe elevate. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. Kinda stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I work hard or live at my pace? You're only young once, yeah, that's all great. But I also want a future where I'm okay. Living life is doing lots of cocaine. Wait, no, it's living with no shame. Wait, no, it's sleeping in on Sundays. I guess it's different for each of us and it's okay. Well, I just wanna be happy. How to get there? Glad that you asked me. I think it's different for everyone. Some of us need work, others need fun. Some of us need purpose to overcome. But try to do what you love when it's said and done. Cause there's so many differences in each of us. Trust your gut, it can show you what you want. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. I grew up in a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see. Cause everybody wanna tell you bad things, what could go wrong, what fame brings. But success is a finicky thing, and if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I will run away, I don't have to plan it. I can go, change my fate, you won't understand it. All alone, that's okay, people I can't stand them. They don't want me to change, keep me where I'm standing. And I don't wanna be where I am, and I want something more, take a chance. It could be possibly my last dance, my last dance. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste me, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate it, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains. I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this exchange, popping up.
All right, and I'm back. So I just pulled off part of the bezel around my monitor, and it looks like I could probably I'm gonna go ahead and order a new circuit board for where the power button is. I think that should solve the problem so that this doesn't happen again. But yeah, my monitor was like kind of just turning itself off, and I think it has something to do with the touch buttons, because it's not physical buttons. It's like the either light sensitive or capacitive touch buttons. And I'm gonna try and order a new board for it. Hopefully It's a ViewSonic monitor, so it's not a cheap monitor. So hopefully I could just order a new part and that'll solve the problem permanently. But for right now, it's fixed. Chris said I should do some George Carlin, and this is Try Not to Laugh. So I went and found a video compilation called The Best of George Carlin. So I don't know how far I'm gonna be able to make it through George Carlin. Man, this is back when comedy was comedy. Let's get into this. This is gonna be hard to not laugh. I might have to change this to not a try not to laugh, because I don't even know if I'll be able to make it through one joke. Let's see.
Certain rules I live by. My first rule, I don't believe anything the government tells me. Nothing. Zero. And I gotta tell you folks, I don't get all choked up about yellow ribbons and American flags. I consider them to be symbols, and I leave symbols to the symbol-minded.
All right, so what do we got here? Let's see. I think that's just an intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for George.
What time is it? What time is it? Do people bother you with that? People bug you all the time, come up to you asking you, what time is it? What time is it? Bothers me, man. What time is it? As though I personally am responsible for keeping.
Man, George Carlin's one of the best comedians ever. You know, I mean, my favorite comedians would have to be, I'm going to say George Carlin, Russell Peters, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, and Dennis Leary.
Time. I don't know. Who knows? I got one of these, but I don't know. Nobody knows what time it is. What time is it? All the calendars are different. Chinese, Hebrew, Western. Nobody knows when it is. Might be the middle of last week for all we know. When are we? We know where we are, but when are we? I don't know. Can't keep track. Time moves too fast. Give you an example. There's a moment coming. It's not here yet. It's still in the future. It's on the way. Here it comes. Here it is. Oh. It's gone. There's no present. People say, what time is it? Well, you mean now or when you asked me?
You know, I gotta say, man, this, like I said, this is when comedy was comedy. And what I mean by that is, like, it's gotten to the point where even comedy used to be like all about like free speech. You could say whatever in comedy as long as you were doing it in a comedic fashion. It was stand up. Like now it's like you got these people attacking Dave Chappelle and stuff for things they say. Could you picture if George Carlin was still around? Like, oh man, like, dude, it's like, I bet they'd be trying to cancel this dude. He's like one of the funniest men like ever. Like, what have we come to in this country?
There's no present. Everything is the near future or the recent past. No, welcome to the present. Welcome once again to the present. And now the all new. No wonder we can't get anything done. There's no time, man. Every time I sit down to work, the time changes on me, man.
I call this piece advertising.
What's up in the comments there, Red Eye Patriot?
Quality, values, style, service, selection, convenience, economy, savings, performance, experience, hospitality, low rates, friendly service, name brands, easy terms, affordable prices, money-back guarantee, free installation. Free admission, free appraisal, free alterations, free delivery, free estimates, free home trial, and free parking. No cash? No problem. No kidding. No fuss, no muss, no risk, no obligation, no red tape, no hidden charges, no down payment, no entry fee, no purchase necessary. No one will call on you. No payments or interest till December, and no parking. Limited time only, though, so act now, order today, send no money, offer good while supplies last, 2 to a customer, each item sold separately, batteries not included, mileage may vary. All sales are final, allow 6 weeks for delivery, some items not available, some assembly required, some restrictions may apply. Shop by mail, order by phone. Try it in your home. Get one for your car. All entries become our property. Employees not eligible. Entry fees not refundable. Local restrictions apply. Void where prohibited, except in Indiana. So come on in. Come on in.
All right, yeah, officially no longer is this. This is just gonna be us watching this and me chatting about it. I can't do the try not to laugh with George Carlin. Chris, man, you wanted George Carlin, and yeah, bro, I can't not laugh to George Carlin. It's George Carlin.
For a free demonstration and a free consultation with our friendly professional staff. Our courteous and knowledgeable sales representatives will help you make a selection that's just right for you and just right for your budget. And say, don't forget to pick up your free gift. A classic, deluxe, custom, designer, luxury, prestige, high quality, premium, select, gourmet pocket flashlight. And if you act now, we'll include an extra added free complimentary bonus gift, a classic, deluxe, custom, designer, luxury, prestige, high quality, premium, select, gourmet, leather style wallet with detachable keychain and a pencil holder. It's our way of saying thank you. And
if you call now, you'll get 2 free. Call now for the price of 1. You'll get 2 free. This is like every infomercial. See, this is what I mean when comedy, like, when you can take realistic things like these ads and all these things and just make jokes out of them. This is when comedians were good. We don't have many comedians like this anymore. They're like, it's like today comedians have like a muscle on them.
if you're not completely satisfied, you pay nothing. Simply return the unused portion for a full refund. No questions asked. It's our way of saying thank you. Keep your free gift. Actually, it's our way of saying bend over just a little further and let us stick this big dick into your ass a little bit deeper.
Because then we're going to hit you with buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that.
People.
Yeah, Chris, that is so true. Everything George Carlin said back in the day is relevant today. Very true. You know, it's funny because like some of this stuff, it's like I think some old man mixed up his phone number with mine. I keep on getting these text messages, which are obviously like scammer texts that are geared towards old people, like Medicare this, Medicare that. And they're always for some guy that like I don't even know. And I've had the same phone number now for probably a good, I want to say at least 8 years. At least 8 years. It's been at least 8 years since I've changed my cell phone number. And I always get these like text, and it's always for the same dude. And I don't even know who this dude is. And it's always like Medicare this, Medicare that. And then like I get these other ones, and it's like I don't put my phone number on anything. If I'm doing anything online, I always use a text now number or something. Like I don't put my real phone number out there because I don't want telemarketer calls and stuff like that. But this old man must have mixed up 1 or 2 numbers typing in his phone number, and I get all his text. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Let's get back into George Carlin here.
Fucking dumb.
Yeah, Chris, scammers are out of control. They call you. Yes, I'm calling from the Amazon. We have purchased it is made in your name, buddy. You're like some of them are like, you're calling from the Amazon? Is it hot? No. Amazon will never call you. I love messing with scammers. Messing with scammers is fun.
You can say what you want about this country, and I love this place. I love the freedoms we used to have. I love it. I love that.
Yeah, well, see, yeah, the thing is, Red Eye Patriot, is that like they buy phone numbers, and I think that this old dude like mixed up his like a couple digits in his phone number, because I keep on getting calls for this dude, and it's like calls, text, everything, and the dude's name is Stanley. I don't even know anybody named Stanley.
I love it when it didn't take a fucking catastrophe to get us to care for one another. I love the fact that we're on camera all the time from all angles. But you know what? You can say what you want about America. And I say I love this place. I wouldn't have.
Yeah, I work with this dude, and anytime somebody says a your mom joke, he always says, "I don't have a mom, I have two dads," and he's joking, but it's just funny when he says it. Yeah, yo, those channels dedicated to scammer revenge, like Scammer Payback, Trilogy Media. I like watching those channels. Those guys, man. Trilogy Media went all the way out to India hunting down scammers. Man, so I get sidetracked. See, this is my ADD kicking in. All right, we're gonna get back into George Carlin.
Have it any other way. We'll all get us to care.
You're 100% right on that, Red Eye.
I love it when it didn't take a fucking catastrophe to get us to care for one another. I love the fact that we're on camera all the time from all angles. But you know what? You can say what you want about America. And I say I love this place. I wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't live in any other time in history and any other place. But
yeah, I'm thinking about making some ADD related merch and putting it on the mixupstore.com.
Say what you want about America. Land of the.
Let's quick plug. I guess we can say it like this. This show's brought to you by the mixupstore.com. If you'd like to purchase a mix-up hat, a mix-up shirt, they're available at the mixupstore.com.
Free, home of the brave.
Little plug. I normally don't do plugs. I've had this website now for like 6 months. I always forget to mention it in all of my videos and all of my lives because I hate doing self-promotion. Like, I feel like if people are going to watch you, they're going to watch you. If they're going to subscribe to you, they're going to subscribe to you.
We got some dumbass motherfuckers floating around this country. Dumbass motherfuckers, you know? Yeah. Now, obviously, that doesn't include this audience. I understand that. You seem intelligent and perceptive, but the rest of them, holy jumping fucking shitballs.
Man, I really wish this man was around today. I really do, especially with what's going on today, man.
Dumber than a second coat of paint. And this ain't just ranting and raving. This ain't just blowing.
No, Chris, like I said earlier, I see this here along with the Gobble News Network. Right now, I don't know if you caught my video earlier, and I'm gonna say it again here in the live. I think for the time being, just for a little bit, we all need to back off Gobble for a little bit. His mom's in the hospital dying, and the dude really needs to be there for his family. He needs to be there for his son, Cameron. Cameron's a very good man, you know, and the thing is, like, I made a video posted earlier, and for the time being, until he gets through this point in his life, I think we all need to back off Gobble. And the reason I'm saying that is because I've lost family members, and yeah, we just let him get through this. Let him deal with his family. He don't need this added YouTube drama on top of that. And that's just me being me and me being a good person. You know, as much as I love to rag on the dude, and the dude's an idiot, but I mean, for the time being, we gotta back off of Johnny. Just for now. Soon as he's through with all this, we get right back on him. But for the time being, yeah, man, dude, his mom's in the hospital. She's on her deathbed. Man, I feel for the guy, man. My thoughts and my prayers go out to Johnny and his family, especially his son Cameron, who's a very good kid. I've talked to Cameron a few times. Nothing like his father. And yeah, man, I lost both of my grandparents on my mother's and my father's side, and that's a sad thing. That's a hard thing to go through, especially, like, you know, my father's parents were like second parents to me, and losing them was one of the hardest things I ever had to deal with. And you know, to see somebody like Cam go through that, he needs his dad, and he doesn't need his dad dealing with stupid YouTube drama. You know, I mean, Red Eye, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry to hear that. You know, it's like he doesn't need the added YouTube drama. So for the time being, I'm taking a break on ragging on Gobble, and I encourage everybody else to do the same, because like I said before, YouTube is YouTube and real life is real life, and the man's going through stuff in real life right now, and we all need to respect that.
Blowing off steam. I got a little evidence to support my claim. It just seems to me that only a really low IQ population could have taken this beautiful continent, this magnificent American landscape that we inherited. Well, actually, we stole it from the Mexicans and the Indians, but hey, it was nice when we stole it. It looked pretty good.
You know, I'm actually part Native American, and nothing makes me madder than when you hear people talk about, and you know the people I'm talking about. Oh, what happened to my peoples? What happened to my peoples? It's like, well, what about my ancestors? Well, why? You know, my ancestors, and even today, Indians are forced into reservations and stuff. Yeah, they can open up casinos and stuff, but yo, it's like really
good.
Do we always forget about the Native Americans?
It was pristine.
I think we do.
Paradise. Have you seen it lately? Have you taken a good look at it lately? It's fucking embarrassing. Only a nation of unenlightened half-wits could have taken this beautiful place and turned it into what it is today, a shopping mall. A big fucking shopping mall. You know that? That's all you got. That's all you've got here, folks. Mile after mile of mall after mall. Many, many malls, major malls and mini malls. They put the mini malls in between the major malls. And in between the mini malls, they put the mini marts. And in between the mini marts, you got the car lots, gas stations, muffler shops, laundromats, cheap hotels, fast food joints, strip clubs, and dirty bookstores. America the Beautiful, one big transcontinental commercial cesspool. And how do the people feel about all this? How do the people feel about living in a coast-to-coast shopping mall? Well, they think it's just fucking dandy. They think it is cool as can be, because Americans love the mall. They love the mall. That's where they get to satisfy.
Chris, that statement right there. If George was still alive, Brandon would not stand a chance. You know, the whole Brandon thing, though, that news reporter that did that day is like, she didn't know what she signed herself up for. She did not know what she signed herself up for. I wonder if she lost her job over that. She started a nationwide thing that just is still going today. But you know what? Let's go, Brandon.
Satisfy their two most prominent addictions at the same time: shopping and eating. Millions of semi-conscious Americans, day after day, shuffling through the malls, shopping and eating, especially eating. Americans love to eat. They are fatally attracted to the slow death of fast food. Hot dogs, corn dogs, triple bacon cheeseburgers, deep fried butter.
You know, and now today, like this is what he's saying right now is even worse, because now instead of the malls, you have the internet. You have the internet. You have the internet with Grubhub and DoorDash and Uber Eats and Amazon. So now you can just shop, and then oh wait, now I'm done shopping. Now I could order something. Oh, let me go on Uber Eats. You don't even got to leave your house. Instacart, you can order your groceries to your house. People don't even got to leave their house today. Like, other than and then work from home. Like, people can get so lazy in today's society. Like, you could work from home. You could order your groceries through Instacart. You could order, even if you want to order takeout, you can order through Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. You don't even got to leave your house anymore. Like, what is this country coming to? You don't even leave your house.
And pork fat and cheese whiz, mayonnaise, soaked barbecue, mozzarella, patty melts. Americans will eat anything. If you were selling sauteed raccoons' assholes on a stick, Americans would buy them and eat them. These people are efficient, professional, compulsive consumers. They think of that as their national pride. It's their civic duty. Consumption. It's the new national pastime. Fuck baseball. It's consumption. The only true.
That's why with the internet today and how easy it is to do everything at home, it makes it 100 times worse.
Lasting American value that's left: buying things. People spending money they don't have on things they don't need. Money they don't have on things they don't need, so they can max out their credit cards and spend the rest of their lives paying 18% interest on something that costs $12.50. And they didn't like it when they got it home anyway. Not too bright.
Most people never realize the interest rate. They're like, wait, I can get this on credit. Ooh, I don't have to pay right up front. And then they realize that they paid like 4 times as much for it. Like the biggest scam in the world is like Rent-A-Center and Aaron's. Like you go to like people go to those places and they get like oh yeah, you could pay $25 a week for this nice living room set. And you could go buy that same set on Walmart.com for like $400 and they're charging you like $1,600 for it.
Folks, not too fucking bright.
Well, I think things ought to be named for what they are. I think there ought to be a little more truth in names. You know, they've tried to clean up advertising claims. Let them clean up some of the names like Excello and Acme and Ace and Top. Bullshit. Like things to be called.
This one's old.
What they are. I like to bring out a new car. The 1977 piece of shit. A division of United Consumer Fuckers.
You know, whenever you're exposed to advertising in this country, you realize all over again that America's leading industry is still the manufacture, distribution, packaging, and marketing of bullshit.
Facts.
High quality bullshit, world-class designer bullshit, to be sure. Hospital tested, clinically proven bullshit, but bullshit nonetheless. And it always amuses me that so many people seem to think that bullshit only comes from certain sources. You know, advertising, politicians, salesmen. Not true. Bullshit is everywhere. Bullshit is rampant. Parents are full of shit. Teachers are full of shit. Clergymen are full of shit. Law enforcement people are full of shit. The entire country is completely full of shit. In fact, this country,
even more so now,
was founded by a group of slave owners who told us that all men are created equal. That is what's known as being stunningly full of shit. And you know, I think, and I think people show their ignorance when they say they want politicians to be honest. What are these people talking about? If honesty was suddenly introduced into politics, it would throw everything off. The whole system would collapse. And I think deep down the American people know that. The American people like their bullshit out front, where they can get a good, strong whiff of it. That's why they reelected Clinton. Listen, Clinton might be full of shit, but he lets you know it. Dole tried to hide it. I'm an honest man. Bullshit. Bullshit. People don't believe that shit. Clinton said, hi, I'm full of shit, and how do you like that? And the people said, at least he's honest. At least he's honest about being full of shit. It's like the business world. All businessmen are completely full of shit. Just the worst kind of people you could ever want to run into. Businessmen. And the proof of it is they don't even trust each other. They don't trust each other. When a businessman is negotiating a deal, the first thing he does is to automatically assume that the other guy is a complete lying prick who's trying to
Facts.
fuck him on the deal. So he has to do everything he can to fuck the other guy a little bit harder and a little bit faster. And then when it comes to dealing with customers, that's when you get the big smile. That's when you get the big smile. Businessman always has that big smile on his face as he carefully positions himself directly behind the customer and unzips his pants and services the account.
Oh man, salesmen will try and tell you anything to sell you something.
We specialize in customer service. You heard that? Now you know what it means. Whoever coined the phrase, let the buyer beware, was probably bleeding from the asshole.
Yeah. Oh man, salesmen are the worst. And it's even worse today with the internet, because now instead of salesmen, you just have ads, lying ads.
Advertising sells you things you don't need and can't afford that are overpriced and don't work. And they do it by exploiting your fears and insecurities. And if you don't have any, they'll be glad to give you a few by showing you a nice picture of a woman with big tits. That's the essence of advertising.
Yeah, it's funny. My when I was doing some work for the restaurant / bar nightclub that I work at, and I was making some flyers for the boss, and he always used to be like, "Make sure you put a hot chick on the flyer. Make sure you put a hot chick on the flyer." He's old school, like old school businessman.
Advertising big tits, threateningly big tits. And speaking of big tits, what about show business? Show business, completely dishonest, corrupt, and full of shit, but in a nice way. Plenty of expensive drugs and perverted sex. If you're gonna be full of shit, might as well enjoy your work. Then you have the media, not just the news media, let's include them all. The media.
Oh man, dude, the media today, dude. This Chris, man, when you said if he was around today, like he's up before his time, yo, it is.
Are almost literally exploding with bullshit because they're located right,
and even more so now,
at the crossroads of all the other bullshit. The media are made up of equal parts advertising, politics, business, public relations, and show business. These people are sitting right at bullshit junction. There's enough bullshit in the media.
You know what's pathetic about the media today is the media today, like, they saw all the ratings they got from all the political drama that happened, that now they're like thriving to put more drama out to get more ratings. Like, the media should not, like, news media should not be a ratings war. It should be news, not let's put out as much bullshit as we can to get the numbers to come in.
Media for Texas to open a branch office. And you still have enough left over to start 2 law firms and a Christian bookstore. Because folks, I gotta tell you, when it comes to bullshit, truly major league bullshit, you have to stand back in awe of the all-time heavyweight champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. Organized religion. It's no contest.
Yep.
Religion easily has the best bullshit story of all time. Think about it.
And the funny thing is almost every religion, if you ever like study like different religions, you'll notice that all of them have almost the same story, just told in a slightly different manner.
Religion has convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a list of 10 specific things he doesn't want you to do. And if you do any of these things, he will send you to a special...
So after we do this George Carlin video, I'm gonna end the stream, and then I'm gonna be back later with something different. But this is gonna be a while, so we probably get up to at least 2 hours with this.
Place of burning and fire and smoke and torture and anguish for you to live forever and suffer and burn and scream until the end of time. But he loves you. He loves you. He loves you, and he needs money. He always needs money. He's all powerful,
Y'all ever see those videos where Officer Tatum and ABL Anthony Brian Logan showed the pastor is like always trying to hustle his congregation for money, and then he finally got busted.
all present, all knowing, and all wise, just can't handle money. Religion takes in billions and billions of dollars They pay no taxes.
The worst is those televangelists, like those guys that get on TV and make like a TV career out of it.
And somehow they always need money. You talk about a good bullshit.
Try and sell you some bottled holy water and stuff, like the Jesus's water will
Story.
save you.
If I may be permitted a small pun, holy shit. Holy shit.
Okay. It's been a little while. It's been a little while since I've been here, and a couple of things that happened in that time. I'd like to talk a little bit about the war in the Persian Gulf. Big doings in the Persian Gulf. You know my favorite part of that war? It's the first war we ever had that was on every channel plus cable. And the war got good ratings too, didn't it? Got good ratings. Well, we like war. We like war. We're a warlike people. We like war because we're good at it. You know why we're good at it? Because we get a lot of practice. This country's only 200 years old, and already we've had 10 major wars. We average a major war every 20 years in this country, so we're good at it. And it's a good thing we are. We're not very good at anything else anymore. Huh? Can't build a decent car, can't make a TV set or a VCR worth the fuck. Got no steel industry left, can't educate our young people, can't get health care to our old people.
And now we barely build anything in this country. Now you see things that instead of saying made in America, they say assembled in America. So we get all the parts shipped from out of, overseas, and then we just put it together here.
People, but we can bomb the shit out of your...
That's one thing that that Trump was trying to like deregulate a bunch of things so that things didn't cost as much money, so could create some jobs here in this country, and we can start manufacturing things again in this country. But then we get Brandon in there, and then everything just turns around back to the even worse than it was before.
Your country, all right? Huh? We can bomb the shit out of your country, all right? Especially if your country is full of brown people. Oh, we like that, don't we? That's our hobby. That's our new job in the world, bombing brown people. Iraq, Panama, Grenada, Libya, you got some brown people in your country. Tell them to watch the fuck out, or we'll goddamn bomb them. Well, when's the last white people you can remember that we bombed? Can you remember the last white? Can you remember any white people we've ever bombed? The Germans, those are the only ones, and that's only because they were trying to cut in on our action. They wanted to dominate the world. Bullshit.
Chris, I'd pop that comment you just put on the screen, but I don't want to get the channel flagged. But yeah.
That's our fucking job. That's our fucking job. Now we only bomb brown people. Not because they're trying to cut in on our action, just because they're brown. And you probably noticed I don't feel about that war the way we were told we were supposed to feel about that war, the way we were ordered and instructed by the United States government to feel about that war. You see, I tell you, my mind doesn't work that way. I got this real moron thing I do. It's called thinking. And I'm not...
I feel like a lot of people don't think for themselves anymore. We're stuck in a bubble. Most people are stuck in a bubble these days. Especially I'm trying to find new things to react to and stuff, and it's like the YouTube algorithm has stuck me in a bubble of the same stuff that I watch, and I want new things to react to, but it's never showing me anything new.
Not a very good American because I like to form my own opinions. I don't just roll over when I'm told to. Sad to say, most Americans just roll over on command. Not me. I have certain rules I live by. My first rule, I don't believe anything the government tells me.
Facts. Never believe anything the government tells you.
Nothing. Zero. Nope. And I don't take very seriously the media or the press in this country, who in the case of the Persian Gulf War were nothing more than unpaid employees of the Department of Defense, and who most of the time function as kind of an unofficial public relations agency for the United States government. So I don't listen to them. I don't really believe in my country. And I got to tell you, folks,
I don't get all choked up about yellow ribbons and American flags. I consider them to be symbols, and I leave symbols to the symbol-minded. Me, I look at war a little bit differently. To me, war is a lot of prick waving, okay? Simple thing, that's all it is. War is a whole lot of men standing out in the field waving their pricks at one another. Men are insecure about the size of their dicks, and so they have to kill one another over the idea.
Oh man, George was the best.
That's what all that asshole jock bullshit is all about. That's what all that adolescent macho male posturing and
Although now we don't even have that anymore. We don't even have the adolescent macho man. Now it's all beta males.
strutting in bars and locker rooms is all about. It's called dick fear. Men are terrified that their pricks are inadequate, and so they have to compete with one another to feel better about themselves. And since war is
when you look at today's youth and you think of what, like, the things that, like, the younger generation, and you think that those are going to be the people in charge of this country at one point in time, and it's kind of scary.
ultimate competition, basically men are killing each other in order to improve their self-esteem. You don't have to be a historian or a political scientist to see the bigger dick foreign policy theory at work. It sounds like this. What? They have bigger dicks? Bomb them! And of course, the bombs and the rockets and the bullets are all shaped like dicks. It's a subconscious need to project the penis into other people's affairs. It's called fucking with people.
Well, you know, if I had to say to you, what is the answer? I would say massive bloodshed. I really would. I don't really, honestly, deep down believe in political action. I think the system contracts and expands as it wants to. It accommodates these changes. I think the civil rights movement was an accommodation on the part of.
You know what, Chris? The problem is that, like, the even like the 19, 20-year-olds that are just like going into college, or even the people that are just getting out of college. Like I said before, I live in a town, Middletown, and we have Wesleyan University, liberal arts college. And you see these kids and the thoughts they have, like they come to the restaurant I work at on Thursday nights for college night. And it's just like, you see them and you're like, oh God, these are the people that are going into the working world very soon. It's scary, very scary.
Those who own the country. I think they see where their self-interest lies. They see a certain amount of.
What's up, Rebel Ray?
Freedom seems.
Yeah, I see there's only a couple people in here tonight. I feel like I set my stream at like the same time as a bunch of other people. So if anybody else is like bouncing streams, checking out multiple streams, we're just checking out comedy here tonight. Tomorrow night I got the interview with Trey Healy. But tonight it's just going to be some comedy, just trying to have a little fun tonight. Check out some comedy. Like I said, this is the mix up. I like to mix things up. It goes against everything they tell you when you're starting a YouTube channel. Oh, pick one thing and go with it. Nope, not me. I'm gonna mix it up and gonna keep mixing it up because it's the mix up.
Good, an illusion of liberty. Give these people a voting day every year so that they'll have the illusion of meaningless choice that we go like slaves and say, "Oh, I voted." The limits of debate in this country are.
Yo, this is facts right here. What George is talking.
Illusion of meaningless choice that we go like slaves and say, "Oh, I voted." The limits of debate in this country are.
Because if it wasn't facts, we all know who would be president right now. That's all I'm saying. If it wasn't, we know who would be president. If it wasn't, y'all get what I'm saying. I ain't trying to say. I'm trying to say something without saying it.
Are established before the debate even begins, and everyone else is marginalized. They're made to seem either to be communists or some sort of disloyal person, a kook. There's a word, and now it's conspiracy. Say.
Rebel Ray, I'm very sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's sad, man. I'm sorry your brother passed away.
They've made that something that should not be even entertained for a minute, that powerful people might get together and have a plan. Doesn't happen. You're a kook. You're a conspiracy buff. So the only way you cure that, death, bloodshed. I don't advocate it, but I see that it's really the only answer.
Now, to balance the scale, I'd like to talk about some things that bring us together. Things that point out our similarities instead of our differences. Because that's all you ever hear about in this country is our differences. That's all the media and the politicians are ever talking about, the things that separate us, things that make us different from one another.
Rebel Brown, that makes me even sadder to know that was, I feel for you. I feel for you.
That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money.
Facts.
Fairly simple thing, happens to work. You know, anything different, that's what they're going to talk about. Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything you can do, keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank. You know how I describe the economic and social classes in this country? The upper class keeps all of the money, pays none of the taxes.
Thanks, Ghost Wog, for stopping by. Just doing some comedy tonight, checking out some George Carlin. I originally started this as a try not to laugh, and then Chris suggested we do some George Carlin, and at that point I said it's no longer a try not to laugh, because how could you not laugh to George Carlin? It's impossible. It's impossible.
Middle class pays all of the taxes, does all of the work. The poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class. Keep them showing up at those jobs.
Rights. Boy, everyone in this country's always running around yammering about their fucking rights. I have a right. You have no right. We have a right. They don't have a right. Folks, I hate to spoil your fun, but there's no such thing as rights, okay? They're imaginary. We made them up, like the boogeyman. The Three Little Pigs, Pinocchio, Mother Goose, shit like that. Rights are an idea. They're just imaginary. They're a cute idea. Cute. But that's all. Cute and fictional. But if you think you do have rights, let me ask you this. Where do they come from? People say, well, they come from God. They're God-given rights. Oh, fuck. Here we go again. Here we go again. The God excuse. The last refuge of a man with no answers and no argument. It came from God. Anything we can't describe must have come from God. Personally, folks, I believe that if your rights came from God, he would have given you the right to some food every day, and he would have given you the right to a roof over your head. God would have been looking out for you. God would have been looking out for you. You know that?
Facts.
He would have been worried about making sure you have a gun so you get drunk on Sunday night and kill your girlfriend's parents. But let's say it's true. Let's say God gave us these rights. Why would he give us a certain number of rights? The Bill of Rights in this country has 10 stipulations, okay? 10 rights. And apparently God was doing sloppy work that week, because we've had to amend the Bill of Rights an additional 17 times. So God forgot a couple of things, like slavery. Just fucking slipped his mind. But let's say God gave us the original 10. He gave the British 13. The British Bill of Rights has 13 stipulations. The Germans have 29. The Belgians have 25. The Swedish have only 6. And some people in the world have no rights at all. What kind of a fucking goddamn God?
Like China. Like I saw something the other day where they're starting to send people from like officials from China to the US to watch the Chinese people in this country.
What given deal is that? No rights at all? Why would God give different people in different countries different numbers of different rights? Boredom? Amusement? Bad arithmetic? Do we find out at long last, after all this time, that God is weak in math skills? Doesn't sound like divine planning to me. Sounds more like human planning. Sounds more like one group trying to control another group. In other words, business as usual in America. Now, if you think you do have rights, one last assignment for you. Next time you're at the computer, get on the internet, go to Wikipedia. When you get to Wikipedia, in the search field for Wikipedia, I want you to type in Japanese Americans 1942, and you'll find out all about your precious fucking rights, okay? All right. You know about it. You know about it.
All right, after this joke finishes, we're going to take another break, and then I'll be back.
Yeah. In 1942, there were 110,000 Japanese American citizens in good standing, law-abiding people.
One thing I like about George Carlin was that, like, he always spoke like on current topics and always the truth and made it funny.
People who were thrown into internment camps simply because their parents were born in the wrong country. That's all they did wrong. They had no right to a lawyer, no right to a fair trial, no right to a jury of their peers, no right to due process of any kind. The only right they had, right this way, into the internment camps. Just when these American citizens needed their rights the most, their government took them away. And rights aren't rights if someone can take them away. They're privileges. That's all we've ever had in this country is a bill of temporary.
Very true, Chris. Very true. He always made you think. There's a few comedians that do that today, but not the way that George Carlin did. I mean, I feel like Joe Rogan's one of those comedians. And I'd say that more from his podcast than his comedy, but he does do it a little bit in his comedy.
Privileges. And if you read the news even badly, you know that every year the list gets shorter and shorter and shorter. You see how sooner or later? Yeah. Sooner or later, the people in this country are going to realize the government does not give a fuck about them. Government doesn't care about you or your children or your rights or your welfare or your safety. It simply doesn't give a fuck about you. It's interested in its own power. That's the only thing, keeping it and expanding it wherever possible.
The interesting thing about this country is they talk about how we have freedom of choice.
All right, I'm going to take a quick break here, and I will be right back. And I didn't know that George Carlin was Joe Rogan's biggest influence. That makes a lot of sense now that you say that. Take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste it, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate it, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me.
I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains, I'm the boss, I'm making change, I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things, gonna make a name, I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame, no I'm not that vain, I just wanna be greatness, I just wanna be greatness, I just wanna be greatness, I just wanna be greatness.
Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste it, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate it, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me.
Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent. and it's only 1%. I'm gonna take shots. If I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. That energy is like a poison, needs a man, a septic. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself and my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you want to take it, you can try me. If you want to hate bitch, you know where to find me. And if you're going hate bitch, you can fight me. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself and my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste it, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate it, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me.
Let's go. Yo. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
I take shots to the top, I'll get it. I got one life, I'ma do all to win it. I do what's right, push until I fall. I'm slipping to get back up, always stand tall, I'm grinning. I got cuts real deep in, bruised and scarred. I had to learn how to think with my head, not heart. I've been chewed up, spit out, torn apart. From picking up all the pieces is a form of art.
I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
All right, and I'm back. What's up in the comments there? Captain Kurt reacts. You caught us. Right now we're doing the best of George Carlin, reacting to that. And I noticed I just during the break I went and checked to see who else is doing lives, and it looks like there's a lot of people live right now. All right. Yeah, Captain Kurt. Yeah, you know what? I will check that out. I'm doing another stream later, and I will definitely, I might check that out during the stream. Yeah, I'll check that out when I get off for sure. Yeah, let's get back into George Carlin here. And yeah, tonight's just reacting to some comedy. I know there's quite a other lives out there, probably talking about some more serious things, but I'm just trying to keep make it a funny night. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by, Captain Kurt.
Possible.
The interesting thing about this country is if they talk about how we have freedom of choice. You know, we have freedom of choice. Yeah, very limited. It's an important thing. Limited choice. 2 political parties, essentially. 2 big media companies. 5, 6
max.
Yeah.
I've been thinking for a while about trying to do some stand up myself, and every time I think about doing it, we do have a comedy club here in Manchester, Connecticut, Funny Bones Comedy Club, and I've been thinking about going up there and just trying to just do some comedy. But you know, I feel like I don't know. I might try it one time.
All companies down to 3
If I do, I will definitely record it, and it'll definitely be posted here on the Mix Up.
now. I think overall 3 or 4.
I mean, the only thing is, like, I'm afraid, like, my style of comedy, like, I do, like, when I do jokes and stuff, like, I do a lot of accents and stuff. I'm really good at, like, imitating accents. And I feel like with today's audience, it would be, like, you know, kind of hard for people to get it. Like an older crowd would get it, but I feel like a younger crowd just would be like, man, I don't get this guy.
Banks, the big banks, the big brokerage houses, the big accounting firms, all of the things that are important, reduced in choice. Newspapers in a city, how many? Used to be 3, 4, now it's 1 or 2 that are owned by the same people, and they also own a radio station and a TV station. But jelly beans, 32 flavors. Ice cream, all the things that don't matter. The unimportant things, a lot of choices. And you know what I say? Your choice. You know what your.
Do you know there's like 4 companies that own like mad companies? Like almost every company is owned by another company, and it boils down to like 4 different companies that own a lot of the companies in the United States.
Freedom of choices in America, paper or plastic. Yeah. That's it, man. It comes down to paper or plastic, cash or.
Not anymore, man. Here in Connecticut, they don't even give you a damn bag anymore. I paid 10 cents for a piece of shit paper bag that rips when you walk out the store.
Charge, aisle or window, smoking or non-smoking, Coke or Pepsi. These are your choices.
And the funny thing is like back in the day when like not even like a couple years ago when we still could get plastic bags at the store. You'd use you'd reuse the bag. You'd get the bag, you know, the little garbage can in your bathroom. That's where that go. You'd take your dog out for a walk. You'd use it to pick up the poop. Now you're buying more plastic bags. It's just a way for more companies to make more money.
Everything else is kind of laid out for you. You get to do what they really want. They do what they want. The ones who own this country, they.
You know, the company that makes the garbage bags, the company that makes the dog do bags. Like back in the day, you use a shopping bag. You use the thank you come again bag.
Do what they want.
Speaking of our choices being usurped or taken away from us, what do you make of what? And I'm fascinated to ask you this because all the things that you've been talking about for years are, I mean, we've come full circle on this stuff. And that's why I was so fascinated. And thank you for coming on the program.
Sure.
But here we are now, you know.
This goes back to what you said earlier in the comments, Chris, that George was ahead of his time, way ahead of his time.
30 years after you were talking about it, with this huge debate, this huge fight.
Because now a lot of the stuff that he was talking about, like even like right before he died, we're dealing with now.
About whether or not our civil liberties are being taken away from us.
They're definitely be taken away from us now.
What are your thoughts on?
Well, I think if you looked at the record of laws which have been passed in the last 30 to 40 years, there's a thing called social hysteria. Social hysteria is whipped up generally by the media. Crime, in Nixon's time, crime was the big social hysteria issue. There's too much crime. They're coddling, the courts are coddling the.
Let's bring that back. And just listen to what he said right there.
40 years. There's a thing called social hysteria. Social hysteria is whipped up generally by the media.
That is exactly what we're dealing with today here in 2023. Social hysteria whipped up by the media. That's exactly what we're dealing with here today. The media is trying to turn Americans against each other. And that's why it's good to have artists like music artists like Tom McDonald that just like don't even care and just tell facts. Like, no matter what side, what political party, like, you should be able to listen to what Tom is saying, and like, just like, some people are afraid to say the things that he says. Like, oh, man,
Crime in Nixon's
every time I think about this stuff, it's just like,
time, crime was the big social hysteria issue. Well, there's too much crime. They're coddling, the courts are coddling the criminals. We have to tougher laws.
you know, I mean, I'm 40 years old, and like in the early 2000s, when I was just getting out of high school, it seemed like the country was at like especially like right after 9/11, the country was very united. And then like it's almost like they saw that the country was getting united and said, "Oh crap, the people are uniting. What can we do to divide them?" And then here we are today. Here we are today, 22 years after 9/11, and we're getting more divided than we ever were.
So a lot of civil liberties went away in terms of the rights of criminals and the rights of the accused and the people going on trial. These were limited. They were cut down. These rights, which are guaranteed by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Another social hysteria, drugs. The drug thing happened, same thing. Big flow of drugs.
Just so everybody knows, there's actually an organization called LEAP, LEAP, and it stands for Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. And it's a group of former cops, judges, and like important people that are for decriminalization of all drugs. And when I used to work at the college radio station here in town, I was a volunteer for them, their volunteer tech director. They had a speaker come in and speak on it, and he used to say, you know, with drugs, and you're like, well, why would you want all drugs legalized? And then he would say, well, we're never gonna get rid of drugs. So who do you want selling the drugs? The guy on the corner of the street where nobody knows what they're getting, or something where it's regulated and controlled? And it's like, because the guy on the street corner is going to sell to any 13-year-old kid, anybody that comes to him. Where if it's regulated and controlled, then it's just a better way to do it. Like, we're never going to get rid of the drug problem. So they're like, go look up. I think their webpage is leap.cc. Check that out.
We're going to fight the drugs. We need newer, tougher laws. We need draconian sentences. We need to be able to go into houses. We need to be able to do this. We have reason. You know, all of these shortcuts have resulted in less liberties because of social hysteria. The media whips up the frenzy. People get all excited.
Mm-hmm.
The legislature passes it. The president, the executive signs.
Chris, I'll look into that at some point.
It, and the judges, then the judicial branch okays it sometime later when it gets to them.
Mm-hmm.
And what has happened is you have less freedom, less liberties, less civil liberties, less rights. And the third social hysteria is terrorism. That was whipped up. Now it's a little problem, a little more cause there. You look at the 9/11; it's a very dramatic event,
Mm-hmm.
but that too has been used with this Patriot Act to reduce our liberties. They say, well, if you have nothing to hide, what are you worried about? You know.
That was, I mean, yeah. Chris even brought that up right before George said it. The Patriot Act. Do you know how much rights we lost with the Patriot Act? Tons. Like listen to things like Edward Snowden said.
That whole argument. Oh yeah, good. Yeah. You have tell me about the people that are just getting out of prison because of the DNA. If they had nothing behind. It's just listen. This country is owned by the ownership class. They do pretty much what they want. I figure it's like a freak show. Here's what I do. You know what I do? To me, if you're born in the world,
yeah,
you get a ticket to the freak show. They get a ticket to the freak show. If you're born in America, you got a front row seat. So,
facts.
Some people.
You know, sometimes I wonder what other countries are thinking about the state of the United States right now.
Are in the freak show.
Yeah,
we got our freaks.
Yeah.
Then some people they want to fix the freaks.
Yeah.
These are the ACLU.
You know, I have a theory that, and I came up with this a while ago, that we're dealing with the pussification of America.
You lawyers, environmentalists, well, let's fix the freaks. We're going to
Yeah.
fix them up. Oh, isn't that terrible? Let's do this. And then there are folks who just watch the freak show,
Yeah.
as me. And some of us get to write about it or talk about it.
Right.
And I do that.
That's you too.
Yeah. And say, oh, look at you. Look how badly you're doing. I don't
Yeah.
even I count myself in.
Yeah.
I say, look how badly you folks are doing. How did you do this to yourself? Why did you let them do this to you?
Now, there's one thing you might have noticed I don't complain about. Politicians. Everybody complains about politicians. Everybody says they suck. Yeah. Well, where do people think these politicians come from? They don't fall out of the sky. They don't pass through a membrane from another reality.
You know, when I think about politicians, and you think about it, like people always are concerned who the president is, but when it comes down to it, the president really doesn't make the decisions for the laws. It's the Senate and the Congress. But we keep on voting these same people in again and again and again and again. And we have the same old minds in the Congress, in the Senate, that are doing the same thing over and over again. Exactly. Chris just said it best. Term limits. We should have term limits for the Senate and the Congress, because you have these same people, and that's why nothing ever changes. And when somebody new gets in there, they get sucked into the same mindset as these people.
They come from American parents and American families, American homes, American schools, American churches, American businesses, and American universities, and they're elected by American citizens. This is the best we can do, folks. This is what we have to offer. It's what our system produces. Garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, and to be honest, Biden's the prime example of, the fact that the president doesn't really do anything, because you can see it when he speaks, and he's like, "Oh, I want to talk about this, but they said I can't." It's like, who is they? Again, who is they? Who's the puppet master? Who is the puppet master?
If you have selfish, ignorant citizens, you're going to get selfish, ignorant leaders. And term limits ain't going to be any good. You're just going to wind up with a brand new bunch of selfish, ignorant Americans. So maybe it's not the politicians who suck. Maybe something else sucks around here, like the public. Yeah, the public sucks.
No, I think what it is that sucks is that people are so concerned about who the president is that they don't even look at the who's running for Senate, who's running for Congress. They only care about the president, and then they, at whatever party they pick, they just check every check mark for that party right next to whoever they're voting for president. And until we get a neutral party, somebody that's not a Democrat, that's not a Republican, until that day happens, which I feel like it's never going to come, nothing's ever going to change for the better in this country.
There's a nice campaign slogan for somebody. The public sucks. Fuck hope. Fuck hope. Because if it's really just the fault of...
And to be honest, even though sometimes the man I'm about to mention says some outlandish things, and I don't agree with everything he says, but I really think if he ran for president, he would do better than the last few presidents we've had, and that's former wrestler, former governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura. And people have tried to convince him to run, and he keeps on saying, "I don't want to do it," because he doesn't want the headache. But I feel like he would be somebody to actually listen to the people.
These politicians, then where are all the other bright people of conscience? Where are all the bright, honest, intelligent Americans ready to step in and save the nation and lead the way? We don't have people like that.
So, Chris, you think that the Bilderberg group is the puppet master? Yeah, I think I can agree with that.
This country. Everybody's at the mall, scratching his ass, picking his nose, taking his credit card out of his fanny pack and buying a pair of sneakers with lights in them.
So I have solved this little political dilemma for myself in a very simple way. On election day, I stay home. I don't vote. Fuck them. Fuck them. I don't vote. Two reasons I don't vote. First of all, it's meaningless.
You're saying George Carlin's 9/11 special? Is that what you're talking about, Chris?
This country was bought and sold and paid for a long time ago. The shit they shuffle around every 4 years doesn't mean a fucking thing.
Yep. Facts right there.
Shuffle around every 4 years doesn't mean a fucking thing.
Don't mean nothing.
And secondly, I don't vote because I believe if you vote, you have no right to complain. People like to twist that around. I know. They say, well,
I say Ventura's 9/11. I've seen a lot of things by Ventura. That guy, even though I don't agree with everything he says, the man definitely for the people and very intelligent. Although sometimes he's a little out there. I will say that the man is a little out there sometimes.
well, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. But where's the logic in that? If you vote and you elect dishonest, incompetent people, and they get into office and screw everything up, well, you are responsible for what they have done. You caused the problem. You voted them in. You have no right to complain. I, on the other hand, who did not vote, who in fact did not even leave the house on election day, am in no way responsible for what these people have done and have every right to complain as loud as I want about the mess you created that I had nothing to do with. So I know that a little later on this year, you're going to...
Yeah, I'm going to say 2016, I voted for Gary Johnson. In the last election, I voted for Trump because there was no good third party.
Going to have another one of those really swell presidential elections that you like so much. You'll enjoy yourselves. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure as soon as the election is over, your country will improve immediately. As for me, I'll be home on that day doing essentially the same thing as you. The only difference is when I get finished masturbating, I'm going to have a little something to show for it, folks.
Yeah, it's all bullshit, folks. It's bad for you. It's all bullshit. That's what you have to remember as you go through life in this country. It's all bullshit, and it's bad for you. Now, speaking of parents and speaking of bullshit, two ideas which aren't always mutually exclusive, by the way. I'd like to mention a special kind of bullshit that has taken hold in this country in the last 30 to 40 years. It's a form of bullshit that really only can be called child worship. It's child worship. It's this excessive devotion to children. I'm talking about today's professional parents, these obsessive diaper sniffers who are overscheduling and overmanaging their children and robbing them of their childhoods. Even the simple act of playing.
And that's worse even now. Like, to think, like, George Carlin died in 2008. So this had to have been like early 2000s. It's worse now.
Even the simple act of playing has been taken away from children and put on mommy's schedule in the form of play dates. Something that should be spontaneous and free is now being rigidly planned. When does a kid ever get to sit in the yard with a stick anymore?
Man, you go drive around any neighborhood now, and like when I was a kid, you'd see kids outside playing, doing stuff. And now you go drive around and it's like you see a kid outside. It's like, oh my God, where's their parents? Where's their parents? Back in the day, we used to just run around, play in the streets. We used to have rocks for the playscapes at the schools and stuff. Now there's at first they replaced it with wood chips, and now they're replacing it with like shredded rubber to pad everything because we got to protect everybody. I remember back in the day, you used to fall. And you'd fall and you'd get back up, and that fall would make you stronger.
You know, just sit there with a fucking stick. Do today's kids even know what a stick is? You know?
Definitely
but you know something?
In 2023.
Kid shouldn't be wasting his time with a stick anyway. If he's 4 years old, he should be home studying for his kindergarten entrance exams. Do you know about that shit? Oh, they have them now. Yeah. There are places that.
Tom says the movie Idiocracy pretty much sums up the direction the world is headed. I'm gonna have to check that out. That'll be on my list of things to watch.
Have kindergarten entrance exams. The poor little fuck. The poor little fuck, he can barely locate his dick. You know, and already he's being pressured to succeed for the sake of the parents. Isn't this really just a sophisticated form of child abuse? And speaking of that.
Yep. We don't let kids be kids anymore.
Speaking of child abuse. Speaking of child abuse, next up, grade school. Grade school, where he won't be allowed to play tag because it encourages victimization.
Man, this goes back to what Chris said earlier, where George Carlin was way ahead of his time.
And he won't be allowed.
Because everything he's saying right now is like 100 times worse than when this was filmed.
To play dodgeball because it's exclusionary and it promotes aggression. Standing around is still okay. Standing around is still permitted, but it won't be for long because sooner or later some kid is going to be standing around and his foot will fall asleep and his parents will sue the school and it'll be good.
Facts. And I think it's almost come to that point today.
By fucking standing around. Yeah.
My last question, George, is that it seems to me you're kind of an icon for someone who can see the bad things going on, but not let it sort of harden your heart, not let it get into you and screw up your either mental.
I think Jesse Ventura, when he wrote the book Democrips and Republicans, basically that sums up that it's the two gangs that run this country.
State or your emotional state. Do you have any advice for people on how you can still stay engaged in the world and not just go insane with anger and resentment?
Become a spectator. That's what I am. I have found that over the last 20 to 30 years, somewhere in that span between 20 and 30 years ago, I began to pull away from having a stake in any of this. I don't really have an emotional stake in the outcome anymore in terms of my caring. I don't really give a fuck when you get right down to it. I don't care what happens to my species because I think this species has squandered great gifts, namely and especially the gift of this mind we have, the brain/mind, which is able to distinguish between subject and object as a starter, and able to do a lot of abstract things that should have led us better places. And the opposable thumb and walking erect and that whole package, we should certainly have done better than to embrace superstitious religious belief that rules us and leads us, and the pursuit of goods and profit and territory and power. That's what we turned into. And I think the same is true of this culture. I have also found myself pulling away from this culture and not caring about the outcome because I think the same thing is true. This culture, the country, the American country was given great gifts. It developed great gifts on its own.
Tom, very good point there. It doesn't matter which side you choose. Both are going to distract you as much as possible while stealing everything they can from you. Pure facts right there. Pure facts. Pure facts.
At the beginning, and I think we squandered these ideals, these noble purposes and ideals that we began with, and we went off the track because of the prosperity, primarily. We were always infected with the religious thing. That was always there underneath everything. But prosperity led to greed and possessiveness and wanting to own things and have them for their own sake. And now the American people politically have been bought off, have been completely silenced and bought off by gizmos.
Yo, that right there sums up how we should as a country, we shouldn't be choosing on things what race you are. We're all people. We're all people. This picture right here on the screen, that sums up. We're all people. We're all human. Doesn't matter what race you are. And the fact that the media keeps on going and being like, oh, this and that, and the white people this, black people that. Can we all just be Americans, be humans?
Gizmos and toys.
You know, I think Tom McDonald said it best in the song Sheeple when he's saying like we're not gonna unite until like we're all on the same team.
And that's a line from the current show. And it's just a shame. So I pulled away emotionally, and I said, you know what? Fuck them. Let them do what they want to do. I'm going to enjoy this shit as a spectator. And I look at it as a show. It's a big circus. It's a big parade, whatever metaphor you want to use. I think of it as the freak show. I like to say this. When you're born in this world, you're given a ticket to the freak show. When you're born in America, you're given a front row seat. And man, I'm sitting there and I have my notebook out and I'm enjoying the show. And I wish I could live 1,000 years to watch.
And I really think that every country that other than our own is looking at us like, look at this country. What's happening to it? Like, I mean, it's only a matter of time before another country's like, oh, they're weak enough now.
This all developed. The rise of Russia, the rise of China, the Muslimization of Europe, the decline of the white race. It's going to be an amazing story as it develops. And I just wish I could see it all. I'm 70 now. I'll probably live to between 90 and 100, I think. And I'll get to see some of it. But it is.
Man, I would love to hear what he would be saying about what's going on today. I would love to hear George Carlin's opinion on the state of America today.
It's an interesting, exciting thing to watch if you can detach yourself emotionally. And that's the end of that.
That's the best way to swallow all that stuff and believe it and still walk down the street singing a happy.
That's right.
Happy tune.
There's no anger in it, see? There's no anger, there's no emotional stake.
But it didn't happen. And one of the reasons is because we were using that soft language, that language that takes the life out of life. And it is a function of time. It does keep getting worse. Give you another example. Sometime during my life, toilet paper became bathroom tissue. I wasn't notified of this. No one asked me if I agreed with it. It just happened. Toilet paper became bathroom tissue. Sneakers became running shoes. False teeth became dental appliances. Medicine became medication. Information became directory assistance. The dump became the landfill. Car crashes became automobile accidents. Partly cloudy became partly sunny. Motels became motor lodges. House trailers became mobile homes. Used cars became previously owned transportation.
Previously owned transportation?
Room service became guest room dining. And constipation became occasional irregularity. When I was a little kid, if I got sick, they wanted me to go to the hospital and see the doctor. Now they want me to go to a health maintenance organization or a wellness center to consult a healthcare delivery professional. Poor people used to live in slums. Now the economically disadvantaged occupy substandard housing in the inner cities. And they're broke. They're broke. They don't have a negative cash flow position. They're fucking broke. Because a lot of them were fired. You know, fired. Management wanted to curtail redundancies in the human resources area. So many people are no longer viable members of the workforce. Smug, greedy, well-fed white people have invented a language to conceal their sins. It's as simple as that. The CIA doesn't kill anybody anymore. They neutralize people. Or they depopulate the area. The government doesn't lie, it engages in disinformation. The Pentagon actually measures nuclear radiation in something they call sunshine units. Israeli murderers are called commandos. Arab commandos are called terrorists. Contra killers are called freedom fighters. Well, if crime fighters fight crime and firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight? They never mention that part of it to us, do they? Never mention that part of it.
Man, again, I'm going to say it again. I wish George Carlin was still here so we could hear his take on the state of America today.
And some of this stuff is just silly. We all know that. Like on the airlines, they say they want a pre-board. Well, what the hell is pre-board? What does that mean? To get on before you get on?
I never understood that pre-boarding, like, oh, we gotta let the handicapped people and children and stuff, like, y'all gonna get on the plane no matter what. It doesn't matter what order you get on, you're gonna get on. So what is even the purpose of that?
They say they're going to pre-board those passengers in need of special assistance. Cripples! Simple, honest, direct language. There's no shame attached to the word cripple that
I mean, to be honest with you, Chris, I don't think we should be letting this happen anyway. You know?
I can find in any dictionary. No shame attached to it. In fact, it's a word used in Bible translations. Jesus healed the cripples. Doesn't take 7 words to describe that condition. But we don't have any cripples in this country anymore. We have the physically challenged. Is that a grotesque enough evasion for you?
No, the main reason I always say if any political party I would affiliate myself with would be libertarian, is because, you know, I completely disagree with anything that liberals say, and I can't agree with everything that Republicans say. I'm for freedom, and the main philosophy of a libertarian is you do you, but let me do me. So as long as you're doing you, you have to let me do me. Don't interfere with what I'm doing. I don't care what you do as long as you don't interfere with what I do.
How about differently abled? I've heard them called that, differently abled. You can't even call these people handicapped anymore. They'll say, we're not handicapped, we're handy-capable.
Did you guys ever notice that the handicap logo on parking spots changed from being a normal wheelchair to now it looks like a guy racing in a wheelchair?
These poor people have been bullshitted by the system into believing that if you change the name of the condition, somehow you'll change the condition. Well, hey, cuz.
Blue Eyes, I 100% agree. 100% agree. FJB.
Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. We have no more deaf people in this country, hearing impaired. No one's blind anymore, partially sighted or visually impaired. We have no more stupid people. Everybody has a learning disorder. Or he's minimum.
I almost feel like you get arrested for calling somebody stupid nowadays because you might hurt somebody's feelings.
Exceptional. How would you like to be told that about your child? He's minimally exceptional. Oh.
Prime example of that is like last night's live when somebody made a comment about this is dumb or something. YouTube held the comment for review. How is dumb an offensive comment? Like what do we come to where YouTube is holding comments that say the word dumb in them? Like really? Like you don't want somebody to see somebody saying dumb? Like that's ridiculous. Like I could see if a comment has swears in it and stuff like that, then holding it for a review. But the word dumb, like really? Like is that what we've come to? Like we're censoring everything.
Thank God for that. Psychologists actually have started calling ugly people those with severe appearance deficits. It's getting so bad that any day now I expect to hear a rape victim referred to as an unwilling sperm recipient. And we have no more old people in this country. No more old people. We ship them all away.
And see, Blue Eyes, that right there, that's what's killing this country. Wokeness. They're not woke. I don't even understand that like that whole thing woke is just stupid. It's stupid. It's not woke. It's just you're pussified.
And we brought in.
Man, I really feel like some of the stuff I'm saying in this live might make YouTube start watching my channel more. Damn.
In these senior citizens. Isn't that a typically American 20th century phrase? Bloodless, lifeless. No pulse in one of them. A senior citizen. But I've accepted that one. I've come to terms with it. I know it's here to stay. We'll never get rid of it. That's what they're going to be called, so I'll relax on that. But the one I do resist, the one I keep resisting, is when they look at an old guy and they'll say, look at him, Dan. He's 90 years young. Imagine the fear of aging that reveals. To not even be able to use the word old to describe someone, to have to use an antonym. And fear of aging is natural. It's universal.
Blue Eyes, 100%. 100%.
Isn't it? We all have that. No one wants to get old. No one wants to die, but we do. So we bullshit ourselves.
Like I said earlier in the live, I feel like that right after 9/11 was when this country was the most united. And I feel like the government was like, oh my God, the people are coming together. How can we let this happen? We need the division to keep things the way that we want. Because when the people unite, then we can't control them anymore. And that's where that brings us to where we are today. That's really my thoughts.
I started bullshitting myself when I got to my 40s. As soon as I was in my 40s, I'd look in the mirror and I'd say, well, I guess I'm getting older. Older sounds a little better than old, doesn't it? Sounds like it might even last a little longer. Oh shit, I'm getting old. And it's okay, because thanks to our fear of death in this country, I won't have to die. I'll pass away. Or I'll expire like a magazine subscription. If it happens in the hospital, they'll call it a terminal episode. The insurance company will...
Tom, as funny as this comment is, as I said earlier, and I don't know if you caught the little video that I made, we're gonna back off. I personally am backing off Gobble for a minute, and the only reason is because right now his mother's in the hospital. She's on her last leg, and I feel like the man needs to be there for his family, mainly his son Cameron, who's a very good guy. You know, I don't like to mix the internet with personal, and right now the man's dealing with stuff, and he don't need to go on YouTube and see people bashing him on YouTube when he's trying to you know, support his kids when something's going on like that. But and then Blue Eyes here said we need some Ron White. In the next time I do some comedy, we'll definitely have some Ron White. Dude, Ron White, we need some tater salad up in here. But after this George Carlin, I'm gonna end this stream. I'm gonna probably do a late night stream, like a 1 a.m. stream. I slept in a little bit today. Yesterday I woke up at 5 a.m. This morning I woke up at 5 a.m. and I said, you know, I'm going back to sleep. I didn't have anything to do today. So I said, I'm going back to sleep. So I'm gonna stay up late tonight, probably do a late night stream. Gonna plan that one out after I get off this. I'm thinking we're gonna end this. This has about another 15 minutes in it, which will probably turn into a half hour with me pausing and comment. Blue Eyes, you never sleep? That's not good for your health, man. I remember when I was like 19, 20, I could like stay up 3 days all nighters. Now that I'm 40, I even try and stay up overnight one night and I'm yawning and like, oh man, I need to get to sleep. Back in the day, 19, 20, I'd stay up all night 3 days in a row, no problem. Now it's like, damn, I miss those days. But let's get back into George Carlin here. And then after we're done with George, I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to plan another stream. I don't even know. It might just be a BS stream. Like I might open up a panel, get some people on here. Let's just shoot this shit with each other later. How about that? I'm playing that stream for, say, I'm thinking this is going to take us another half hour. I'm going to say 1:30 will be my next stream. I might go while I'm off air. I might go jump on a couple other people's streams, like at least in the chat. Check. I like to support the other YouTubers in the YouTube community. Yeah, Rose, George was the best, absolutely the best.
We'll refer to it as negative patient care outcome. And if it's the result of malpractice, they'll say it was a therapeutic misadventure. I'm telling you, some of this language makes me want to vomit. Well, maybe not vomit.
And Blue Eyes, you know how hard it is for me to not rag on Johnny with some of the dumb stuff he says. But right now, I really feel like the best thing for all of us as a YouTube community to do is leave the man alone so that he can concentrate on his kids and their grandmother passing away. And that's just me being me and being a good person. I really feel like, Johnny Goble, I'm going to call him Goble because I don't want to rag on him right now. Johnny Goble needs to be with his kids and needs to support his kids while their grandmother's passing away. And he don't need the added YouTube drama on that. So, I mean, as much as I like to rag on him, in 2 weeks, after this is all over and he's had time to console his kids, if he does some dumbness, I'm right back on him, 100%. But for the time being, I'm backing off, and I think we all should. And that's just me being a good-hearted person. And I'm thinking of his kids and not him. It has nothing to do with him. If he was didn't have any kids to take care of, and he was still being stupid, I'd be right on him. But I'm worried about his children.
Makes me want to engage in an involuntary personal protein spill. You got people like this around you. Country's full of them now. People walking around all day long, every minute of the day, worried about everything. Worried about the air, worried about the water, worried about the soil. Worried about insecticides, pesticides, food additives, carcinogens. Worried about radon gas, worried about asbestos. Worried about saving.
Rose, I don't know how long you've been a subscriber of the channel, but one thing about me is I always keep it real. I always keep it 100, and I don't hold back. I might rag on people for doing dumb stuff, but at the end of the day, I always keep it 100. I always keep it real.
Endangered species. Let me tell you about endangered species, all right? Saving endangered species is just one more arrogant attempt by humans to control nature. It's arrogant meddling. It's what got us in trouble in the first place. Doesn't anybody understand that? Interfering with nature. Over 90%, way over 90% of all the species that have ever lived on this planet, are gone. They're extinct. We didn't kill them all. They just disappeared. That's what nature does. They disappear these days at the rate of 25 a day. And I mean regardless of our behavior. Irrespective of how we act on this planet, 25 species that were here today will be gone tomorrow. Let them go gracefully. Leave nature alone. Haven't we done enough? We're so self-important. So self-important. Everybody's going to save something now. Save the trees.
Oh, it's even worse now. Oh, man. This goes back to I wish George was still around. I would really I'd love to hear his take on what's going on today in this country. I really would. Oh, man. Chris, I'm glad you recommended that we react to some George Carlin.
Save the
And like I said, I was trying to do a try not to laugh originally in this stream, and we did those Laugh Factory, and then that one that like seemed like it was a bunch of libtards, and I probably couldn't watch it for much longer. Yeah, I couldn't watch that one, but yeah, man, this stream has turned into more than just comedy. It's turned into a little bit of a discussion about current event kind of things, and yeah, well, let's keep it going.
Save the whales, save those snails. And the greatest arrogance of all, save the planet. What? Are these fucking people kidding me? Save the planet? We don't even know how to take care of ourselves yet. We haven't learned how to care for one another. We're gonna save the fucking planet? I'm getting tired of that shit. Tired. I'm tired of fucking Earth Day. I'm tired of these self-righteous environmentalists, these white bourgeois liberals who think.
Oh, listen to that. Oh, see, George always kept it real. Always kept it real.
I'm tired of fucking Earth Day. I'm tired of these self-righteous environmentalists, these white bourgeois liberals who think the only thing wrong with this country is there aren't enough bicycle paths. People trying to make the world safe for their Volvos.
You know what I find funny about liberals? Like the whole like voter ID laws and stuff. Like, do they realize how racist they actually sound when they're like, "Oh my God, black people can't get IDs"? Like, really? You like every black person I know has an ID and knows where to go get one and how to get one. And if you're that stuck up and ritzy liberal that you think that a black person can't get an ID, maybe you should go check yourself.
Besides, environmentalists don't give a shit about the planet. They don't care about the planet. Not in the abstract, they don't. Not in the abstract, they don't. You know what they're interested in? A clean place to live. Their own habitat. They're worried that someday in the future they might be personally inconvenienced. Narrow, unenlightened self-interest doesn't impress me. Besides, there is nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine. The people are fucked. Difference.
Even more so now. Way more so now.
Difference. The planet is fine. Compared to the people, the planet is doing great. It's been here 4.5 billion years. Do you ever think about the arithmetic? Planet has been here 4.5 billion years. We've been here, what, 100,000? Maybe 200,000? And we've only been engaged in heavy industry for a little over 200 years. 200 years versus 4.5 billion. And we have the conceit to think that somehow we're a threat? That somehow we're...
Well, Secrets, that just goes to show what type of frame of mind when you listen to George Carlin. It makes you think, and it brought me to talking about like a whole bunch of topics and things that like normally I try and avoid on my YouTube channel. But I mean, it's stuff that just needs to be said.
We're going to put in jeopardy this beautiful little blue-green ball that's just floating around the sun. The planet has been through a lot worse than us.
Yeah,
been through all kinds of things
live up as it is.
Worse than us. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, continental drift, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, the magnetic reversal of the poles, hundreds of thousands of years of bombardment by comets and asteroids and meteors, worldwide floods, tidal waves, worldwide fires, erosion, cosmic rays.
I might take the download and repost it as a video, but I'm not gonna chop it up. I'll take the breaks out and the break music out, but I'm gonna I'm gonna leave the live up itself, but then I'm gonna repost it as a video because just the way like YouTube monetization and stuff works.
Recurring ice ages, and we think some plastic bags and some aluminum cans are going to make a difference.
You ever see what actually happens to those plastic bags? And the whole recycling thing and like where they all end up, like in some foreign country and just end up in the ocean anyway. So what is even the point?
The planet
The planet isn't going anywhere. We are. We're going away. Pack your shit, folks. We're going away. And we won't leave much of a trace either. Thank God for that. Maybe a little styrofoam. Maybe. Little styrofoam. Planet will be here and we'll be long gone. Just another failed mutation. Just another closed-end biological mistake. An evolutionary cul-de-sac.
Yeah, Chris, I worked for a while doing a morning shift for a trash company as well. At one point, my ex's father worked for a company called Tony's Trucking out of Yalesville here in Connecticut. And he's like, we need extra help. And at the time I was doing a paper route and I'm like, yeah, well, when I get done with the paper route, I could come there and do it. And it just got to be too much between that and like my two other jobs. Like I was doing 4 jobs at that point. That was a crazy point in my life.
The planet will shake us off like a bad case of fleas. A surface nuisance. You want to know how the planet's doing? Ask those people at Pompeii who are frozen into position from volcanic ash how the planet's doing. Want to know if the planet's all right? Ask those people in Mexico City or Armenia or 100 other places buried under thousands of tons of earthquake rubble if they feel like a threat to the planet this week. How about those people in Kilauea, Hawaii, who build their homes right next to an active volcano and then wonder why they have lava in the living room?
Because you built your house next to a goddamn volcano.
The planet will be here for a long, long, long time after we're gone, and it will heal itself. It will cleanse itself, because that's what it does. It's a self-correcting system. The air and the water will recover, the earth will be renewed, and if it's true that plastic is not degradable, well, the planet will simply incorporate plastic into a new paradigm, the earth plus plastic. The earth doesn't share our prejudice towards plastic. Plastic came out of the earth. The earth probably sees plastic as just another one of its children. Could be the only reason the earth allowed us to be spawned from it in the first place. It wanted plastic for itself. Didn't know how to make it. Needed us. Could be the answer to our age-old philosophical question, why are we here?
To make plastic.
Plastic. Assholes.
Comedians never get old. They don't.
Oh, I hate this show.
They get old, but they live to be 150. George Carlin, the great George Carlin, just turned 70, and to celebrate his 50th.
See, and the funny thing about this show is if George Carlin was around today, I 100% guarantee they'd be trying to cancel him. Just by the way he talks, 100%. The View would be trying to cancel George in a heartbeat.
50 years in show business, he's just released a DVD collection of all his comedy specials, and it's called George Carlin, All My Stuff. Please
Yeah. Blue Eyes, I can't stand this woman.
welcome comedy legend George Carlin.
I swear to God, if he was around today, this show, everyone on this show would be trying to cancel him. 100%. Just by the way he talks. But back then, you know, it was okay to be controversial. Now it's like you're even slightly controversial, and it's like, oh my God, you hurt my feelings.
Can't do it. Don't have the falsetto anymore. Used to be able to sing some nice high tenor in the hallways.
Like that guy, how did he do it? Whoa! He went, whoa! Yeah.
Can't get the falsetto.
That's all right. So, George, before we talk about how old you're getting,
Yeah, sure.
how does it feel to be 70 in the business? Does it feel any different?
No, it really doesn't.
It doesn't,
No,
no.
You know the time has passed, and you know you're getting better at what you do.
Mhm.
You're supposed to. Anything you do, you better get better at it.
Yeah,
You better
yeah.
stop doing it.
That's right.
And so, you know what George Burns said? He said there are 5 stages of life: childhood, adulthood, middle age, old age, and you look great.
And that's where I'm at now. The people, they say, hey, you look great. And you know, and you say, okay.
Which is still funny. I mean, funny never goes away unless you
No.
get a dementia or something.
No, right.
And then it's even funnier.
That's right. Unintentionally. No, the thing is, it's not just the funny, but the ideas get richer. The writing. I found out at one point, I used to always, when I was a beginning comic, the first 20 years probably, I referred to myself as a comedian who wrote his own material because I was proud of that, and a lot of comedians didn't. Comedian who wrote his own material.
That's sad that a lot of comics don't write their own material.
Then one.
What's even sadder is that most musicians don't write their own songs.
One day I sort of realized, after the fact, a few years, that I'd become a writer who performed his own material. And that really made a difference in my mind, in my heart.
How did that happen? How did that work?
I just matured into that. I had the skills to be a writer all along, apparently, and I was using them effectively, but in a little more of a frivolous way at first. And later, the experience is very a good thing because it gives you something richer against which to compare what you're seeing. When you're 20 and you see X, Y, and Z, it bounces off a very thin wall. If you're 60 and you see the same.
Man, I would love to be 20 again. What I know now, being 40.
Thing, boy, it gets in there and it goes around a little bit and everything, and it's a richer output. So that's what I gained just from getting older.
George, do you think that, you know, you look at comedy now, do you think that you could, if you were starting out today, would there be a place for you?
Yeah, somewhat. I had that question recently, slightly different. Same.
Like I said, if he was around today, they wouldn't even have him on the show the way that he talks. Like this goes to show how much these people, even these people on The View, with the way that they act today, they were all for a comedian like George Carlin back in the day. But then it's like if somebody even says something even against what they think, they're like, oh my God, we gotta cancel them. He hurt my feelings.
Idea. And I thought, gee, you know, if I were starting today, if I were 20, I wouldn't even know if I'd be the same person at 20 that I was then. Not with all of the things that would have happened between, let's say, 5 and 20, the technology, the demands, and the way the parents. Well, my mother would have been one of these professional parents, but I would have been a different person, and it would have been harder to start because I did my career on my own terms. And I don't know how many people get to do that anymore. I think there are too many expectations. There are too many pathways and rules. And true rebels don't seem to be around very much.
So what would you say to a 20-year-old then? What would you say?
I would say do what you love, do it well. And if people pat you on the back for it, you got it. The secret to happiness is finding something you love and doing it well, and then being recognized for it. Someone, even if it's one person who says you're doing a great job, or if it's applause, but those three things together. And you know, when I first changed the kind of stuff I was doing in the late 60s, I had been a suit and tie comic out of the 50s, and I had short hair and all that. And I realized I was doing the wrong thing for the wrong people. And I let myself change into a.
So it sounds like George went from trying to fit in to just being himself. And that's when he became what he was up until the time he died, which was like one of the greatest comedians of all time.
A freer, more of a, if you can use the word hippie, look and attitude. And I realized that I said to my wife at that time when I changed, I said, you know, even if I only filled coffee houses 3 days a week for the rest of my life, I'd be happy doing that. And when you let go of goals and stuff, I mean, the attachment to goals, that's when things come to you. You should have an aim point, but not a thing like that.
Right.
You know?
Well, I want to ask you, George, because you have this to celebrate the 50 years in show business. All of your HBO specials are now in a collection called All My Stuff. And I have, as a stand-up comic, I'm just so excited. I have my favorite routines that you do. What are some of the most memorable routines in here?
Well, the time, it was a year or two later that I looked back and I had that realization that I've really become a writer. It was the 1992 show called Jammin' in New York, which was in Madison Square Garden, the theater there, 6,500 people. It was live.
I think this is the last clip in this compilation. Then we're going to end this stream, and then I'll be back. I'm going to say either 1:30 or 2. I'll post what time the next stream will be. I'm gonna do a late night stream. I slept in a little bit today, didn't have anything to do, and tomorrow I got some work, but I don't got to do it till 10 a.m. So I could sleep in a little tomorrow too. So we're gonna do a late night stream, probably 1:30, 2 o'clock, and probably go to like 5 a.m., 4 or 5. We'll see.
Live. It was the first one they did live on HBO. It was my hometown. The place was full, and it was electric. And I had essays. For the first time, I was doing essays rather than bits. These were developed ideas that had a little bit of a serious overtone to them, but were relieved with laughter and irony all along. And after that started to sink in, I looked back and I thought, well, gee, that was a kind of a pivotal point. So there's a thing in there called The Planet is Fine. It's in the Jam in New York. The planet is fine. The people are... Because everybody's running around trying to save the planet. The planet doesn't need that. The planet will take care of itself. People are selfish, and that's what they're doing, is trying to...
See, look, they're all agreeing with him here. Yeah, that good point, Chris. A lot of my viewers are in another time zone. Right now, it's midnight here, and so when I say 1, I'm saying like in an hour, like 1:30, like an hour to 2 hours from now. So yeah, it's Eastern Standard Time where I am here in Connecticut.
Save the planet for themselves to have a nicer place to live. They don't care about the planet in theory. They just care about having a comfortable place. And these people with the fires and the floods and everything, they overbuild, they put nature to the test, and they get what's coming to them. That's what I say.
Well, that's a little harsh.
That's what's happening. Yeah, and I can't wait for the sea levels to rise. I can't wait for some of these...
I can't stand that woman.
I can't wait for some of these cities to disappear.
I can't swim, George.
Yeah. There are places that are going to go away. The map is going to change, and that's because the real nature... People think nature is outside of them. They don't take into them the idea that we're part of it. They say, oh, we're going for a nature walk. We're going to the country because we like nature. Nature's in here. And if you're in tune with it, like the Indians, the Hopis especially, the balance of life, the balance, the harmony of nature, if you understand that, you don't overbuild. You don't do all this moron stuff. There are too many people.
What about the polluters? Let's go after them. The polluters, the corporations, they pollute.
It's a symphony. Everybody's in the band. You know, it's not just one. It's not just one group. People want their goodies. They want their toys. Everybody wants the new.
You know, these hosts of this show should go back and look at how they were talking to like one of the best comedians that would be saying some stuff that they would disagree with today, but back then they were like, oh yeah, one of the best comedians of all times, and so, nowadays they'd be like, oh, he should be canceled because of his views on things. And all George ever did was keep it real.
It was Gizmo. We're slaves to gizmos and toys.
They got it today.
I don't think they're unhappy.
Everybody wants a cell phone that'll make pancakes, and I think that'll make them happy. And it doesn't
That's
make
what'll
them happy.
happen when we watch this.
Well, and thank you, George, because I want to let you guys know you are all messed up. The planet is fine. We are messed up.
That's right.
But if you are in New York City Thursday, George will be signing DVDs at the Borders on Wall Street.
All right, so that's going to conclude this episode of The Mix-Up. I will be back in about an hour and a half with another stream. Until next time, this has been The Mix-Up. Peace.